unplug your nose and open your ears. It's time for the Queefcast.
Hello.
What's up, fellas?
Welcome.
Howdy.
Time Bomb Tim checking in. What say you? Who do we got here?
Time Bomb Tim and God Emperor of Junior Mom, the pair of fellas that make up Queefy Blinders, and we have a rare treat, an esteemed guest, the one, the only.
He's literally me, bro.
Oh,
True.
I was hoping you were gonna say your name. 2 more seconds, and I would have just said it for you.
Yeah,
I guess we didn't rehearse an intro. Fuck you guys. You're
That's the
still
power.
sticking around.
That's the power of the Shadow. What was it?
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells.
Oh,
True. And
I
frankly,
don't know what
that
the hell that means, but that goes hard.
yeah, that combination of words is like magical
It's like
in
a
and of
spell.
itself.
It's like
Yeah, magical.
that in itself is casting a spell. I don't know what it means. I like it.
It's
I like
about. It's like a 30-second meme about a bunch of wizards that want to legalize nuclear bombs.
Oh, dude, a bunch of libertarian wizards, huh?
Basically.
Oh, it's kind of based.
Kind of rules.
I don't know. Seems kind of base to me.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this in an episode we've not released about libertarians. I think they get a bad rap, dude. I think that a lot of alt-right or just general like maybe moderate right-wingers got psyoped into believing that like libertarians are their enemies. I'm not sure how you feel about that, but I used to like be unironically a libertarian back when I thought that the world was like a nice place that you could just
Yeah.
live and let live in, which is not
You
the
could
case.
You could just all agree not to fuck each other.
Yeah. So
Up.
actually, I occasionally talk about this. I worked for the libertarians. Like my job was to
Oh, really?
work for them. Yeah, for a year, and I
Damn,
spent
this guy's more American than us.
Yeah, I spent
Damn.
all of 2022 literally traveling up and down the East Coast and the Midwest, working for the libertarians, like pushing their message and shit.
Yeah.
And like it basically at the end, it just made me like, because like I was seeing voters from literally all sides of the American spectrum and everything.
Yeah.
It just made me like really like I wasn't
Got
sitting there
bad
like,
taste.
oh, the world. Yeah, I wasn't sitting there like the world is doomed, but it made me like really apathetic and like misanthropic towards just the general
cynical.
thing. Like, yeah, I know. Like I entered into it thinking like, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna make a difference in the world, and I just like after
Yeah.
that- yeah, and I left. Yeah, and I
You're
left, and
younger
I'm
than
just
us.
like, yeah, and I'm just like, bro, I no longer give a crap about the world. I don't care how the world heads, bro. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with anybody, bro.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you and I kind of followed a pretty similar trajectory in that. When I was, young, stars in my eyes, I really thought that you could affect change in a meaningful way, which, as we've come to learn, is just completely false. Like you think you're playing the game, but the people who make the rules can just shake the board at any time. You don't stand a chance. There's really nothing we can do.
Well, I mean, not only that was essentially like the whole, libertarian mindset when you go in is like they tell you that, oh, we hate the left and we hate the right and we're just going to be above all that. And then
Oh.
you enter it, and like I was working for these guys, they were as the libertarians themselves, as far as within their own thing, right? I worked for like Young Americans for Liberty, Make Liberty Win, the Hazlitt Coalition. As far as how they run their stuff, they're as bureaucratic and like as tight run as anything else, right? They're not
Yeah.
libertarian in nature with anything, and they were very like a lot of people in there were very like self-serving, right? Like I'm sure like libertarians by default, they're very decent, right? I was very libertarian. I don't know what I am now. But a lot of the libertarians that are like working with these people, they don't really like care about libertarian theory. they care about themselves, and it was like
Yeah,
it. I
that's just
lost a lot of
politicians, I
faith
think.
with that. Yeah, dude.
No matter what sect you're in, like it is. I think you have to be a sociopath to even pursue a position of power or like try to affect change outside of your own little slice of the world. You know?
Being
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should be in charge.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm kind of on that at all times. My ego is I'm either
Staggering. It's
I'm either seeing myself as, oh, I'm a gutter slug piece of shit, or
the best.
I should just be the emperor.
Yeah.
I should just be
True.
in charge. What if I was in charge though? Those are my
Yeah.
egos at one of those. I'm like a metronome of those two extremes and
Just
no in
bopping
between.
back and forth. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
bopping back and forth, dude. I'm like, what if I just called the shots? I know what's right. Maybe I should just decide everything.
You might actually be the God Emperor. Libertarians, though, like it's weird because the way the two-party system is set up, like, and you're saying like they don't like the way it operates is very bureaucratic and shit. I think that's a symptom of the two-party system, and they have to play the game the way that
They gotta play ball.
Yeah, they got to play
Well-
the game the way that their competitors do, which is very counter liberty. You know, like
That's
big
why they'll
money.
never win anything, unfortunately.
Well,
I
they
mean,
just won't because news.
Yeah, so their as far as their political stuff
true.
has gone, they started political. They did most of their go around do political stuff about 5 years ago, right? So around 2018 ish. They were initially at first when they were small. They were a lot less bureaucratic, and
Yeah.
that started making problems for them. So their
How
whole
so?
thing was we're gonna let people do what they want, right? As long as they don't hurt anybody, right? Well, they
Right.
tried having that environment in their workplace, in their traveling workplace, and that ended up being like really bad for them. So yeah, like there was a whole thing of like Yao 2 and all that, like around the Me Too time was basically they had what was called Yao, like they had their own Me Too, which was Yao 2, which was
Are you saying
essentially
Yao? Yao? How do
Yao.
you spell that? What is that? I don't know the word you're saying.
YAL, yeah, YAL, Young Americans for Liberty.
Oh, okay.
Y'all too.
Y'all.
They had their own Me Too because essentially there was they were taking so Young Americans for Liberty, like basically their workforce was either like was basically college age, right? So you had a lot of people who weren't
Of
like old
course.
enough. Yes, you had a lot of people who weren't old enough to drink, and all these people were like drinking all the time, smoking all the time, like smoking pot and shit.
Okay, that
Right.
kind of rules.
Yeah,
I might be
you had, like,
libertarian again.
Yes, you had all these. So you had all these college kids that were libertarian, like, oh, dude, I'm going to bring my guns on campaign. I'm going to smoke my weed on campaign. I'm going to
Hell
drink on.
yeah.
Like, you got an 18, 19-year-old saying that shit, and like,
It's not
they
good
had
for
their
optics.
yeah, and they had that's
Sorry,
how
Jeff.
their work. That's how like their work structure was. That's how all their workers were, and they were chill because they were just like, well, we're libertarians, so like we're okay with that. That's our thing. But they did that for a couple years, and it ended up they got some problems out of it, and they
Yeah.
and also like some of their head guys were like real creepy to women and shit, and were just like
Ooh.
they were trying to allegedly
Legal age women?
legal age women, I think. Yeah, I think
Oh,
they were
thank
college
God.
age.
Because that's the
But-
thing that I think a lot of right wingers got psyoped into by like one or two maybe bad actors. Is something I see a lot online is people accusing libertarians of wanting to bed
Lower the
16-year-olds. Yeah,
Yeah,
which is just not. It's not true. Like as far as
That's
Yeah,
like
most-
two guys defending themselves by hiding behind the shield of libertarianism. And
that's not what they're about.
No, absolutely not. But
Yeah.
I think that's like a psyop from the left, being
I
like
think
they
so,
just
too.
implanted a couple pedophiles.
Yeah, it's so with my time with the libertarians, and I've spent a lot of time. I was in charge of like groups of these guys, right? There was not like a single person that unironically, ever would say anything or think that like the legal age of consent should go down or anything. They were all very
Yeah.
like anti like, you know, pedo and shit, and they were all very much we should throw pedos and wood chippers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
Hell yeah.
very moral. I mean,
D-
dude, a lot of it hinges on like personal morality, which generally in that group is derived from a higher power, Christianity. You know, a lot of them. I mean, would you agree with that statement that a lot of libertarians are also Christians?
a lot of the libertarians I worked with weren't
Weren't.
very Christian. They just
They just
like-
like the party
yeah, a lot of the like
and the boogaloo.
I feel like a lot of them were like probably like I was basically this was me, but a lot of them were basically took into libertarianism by like a lot of memes and shit.
Yeah.
I think maybe like a lot of older libertarians may see it as more of like from a religious standpoint. A lot of the younger libertarians is the libertarian memes, because the libertarians are good at just absolutely churning out memes.
Yeah.
Were basically like, what would you say, like propagandized, but they were basically taken in by like memes. And this was very much
Kind of
memes.
psyop. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
it's not just you. It's a lot of people. We did talk about this on an episode that's yet to be released, but
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened with Christianity and Catholicism, and even just being right wing in general. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but yeah, memes are a very powerful method of psyoping people who have unplugged from the massive mass media machine. You know,
Yeah.
it
And-
worked on me. I mean, but I basically ditched libertarianism around 2016.
Yeah, and I think 2016 was probably around, because I think I graduated high school in 2018. That was about the time I was starting to go full libertarian and go hardcore
Oh,
on
shit.
the libertarian. Yeah, so I was about that time, and that was about the time I was getting into memes.
Yeah.
And-
oh, wow.
Yeah,
So then you saw the
liber-
Patriot,
weren't
and you were
affected-
like,
you-
hell yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
affected by the
Just
Trump
kidding.
by the meme war, the 2016, 2015 meme war,
I was-
where
I was very much into the meme war, but it was more of just like that was when I was getting into memes, right? So I wasn't
Yeah.
I didn't have much in the way of like any of them smartphones or anything. And I
Yeah.
didn't really have any social media until around 2016. So I was well into high schools when I started actually having my own social media.
sounds like
and
you
I
had good
see-
parents.
It's just
Yeah,
something like
no,
that, you know?
that sounds great.
yeah.
So I start getting into the memes, and I'm just like, dude, I was in the meme wars, but I didn't really have too much of a side. I just kind of was like,
You're like the
laughing
reserve
and
corps.
I was laughing and sharing and like, you know, posting. Like I had a Facebook, and I was just like, oh, here's everything, you know. And I was,
Yeah.
This
I
is
was just
funny.
having-
This is also funny.
it was like
Yeah.
a right wing theme, but it was basically just here's everything, you know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
that was me when I was like in high school, and after a few years of just conservative memes, I slowly went to like libertarian, more like libertarian themed.
Yeah.
And you know, and I was the libertarian memes for a few years, and then I actually worked for the libertarians for a year, and I got really burnt out on them. They were very like sort of backstab, cutthroat sort of way. You know
yeah,
how
they didn't their actions didn't reflect their ideology probably.
Their message.
Yeah.
most of the libertarians that are that are actually working, like have a job, are working with politicians to push libertarianism within like Young Americans for Liberty and Make Liberty Win and Hazlitt and all these places that actually like go out and talk to people. A lot of them is like one of two groups. The higher ups that are like mostly in it for themselves, and they don't actually subscribe to libertarian thought. They just like, if there's two ways you can enter really libertarianism. You can subscribe to libertarian theory, which is where you think that's the moral and just way, you know, to run a society, which is how all, you know, basically all the libertarians would like to be seen. But there's also
Yeah.
the other way, which is where you don't like it when anyone tells you what to do. You just can't work with anybody. You're only out for yourself. And a lot of those types infiltrate the libertarians, and
yeah. I can
and they
see
go
that.
out for themselves because that's where they can thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can thrive anywhere in politics, but they can also thrive in the libertarians, and that's what they do. And
Yeah.
it was just like I found that out, dude, and I was just like this. I just got really like jaded by politics in a nutshell. I was a super political person up until about mid 2022. And then after that, I really couldn't care less. I will like occasionally post a political meme if I think it's funny, but I could care less about influencing actual
Yeah,
politics, to be
you're not worried
honest.
about affecting change anymore. So, let me ask you this: like, you still surely have your own political beliefs and stuff like that, but you're not.
To some extent. So like, I mean, okay, so I'm a meme page, right? I've buried
I,
myself in so much post irony where like for a lot of the time for a lot of things I find like I don't always have the most hardcore stance 100% of the time. Like I can fluctuate on a lot of
you're open
things.
to you're a reasonable person. You can be reasoned with.
Yeah, like a lot of the things I feel like when I'm thinking, just on my own and everything like that is a lot more it's closer to maybe like lib right traditional, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll be talking to somebody else and they'll literally say something that sounds like lib right traditional, but they'll say it in like the most abrasive, like messed up way, and I'll be like, oh no, heck no, I don't think like that, you know what I mean? And and so it's just like I've I've literally was in the trenches. I was knocking on doors, talking to people for like a
Yeah,
year
that's tough.
straight. Yeah. So I used to be like, and just after a year of that, dude, now I hear somebody and they just go hardcore on something, like to the point where they just, they just absolutely like want to hate and all that, stuff, and I post a lot of that about memes and stuff because I think it's funny, but like, there's times when somebody says it like unironically, and I just take a step back and I just kind of let them do their thing. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Because in order to either really hate or really love something or some ideology, you have to have like a lot of energy invested into it. And
Yes.
I just do not have that energy anymore. I gave all my energy up, and it basically screwed me over and was worth nothing.
Yeah.
Like I lost like I put a whole year of my life. I put a lot of my own money. When I was young and I didn't have money, I put a lot of my own money and everything, and I just put it all into like a political ideology I thought was going to help the world, and it ended up
Damn,
just
dude.
yeah, and it just ended up being some like selfish people that
This is
were
the sad reality of American politics now. So, do you think I know what I think about what you just told me? Do you feel that you're better off now just getting pretty much on the inside and realizing that it's basically I hate to be like completely cynical, but basically a fucking waste of time, unfortunately? Or do you miss when you still had the the illusion of I'm gonna get out there and really affect
Drive.
change in my
yeah.
community? Yeah.
Drive. I
Do you like
drive.
do you like where you're at
I
now? Literally
drive.
me.
Literally me,
By the
bro.
way.
It's so here's the one thing too. One thing I've noticed is when I do have opinion, and I'll tie this back to what you just said. When I do have
Sure.
opinions about the country or society, I honestly, my brain now, because of how cynical I've become towards the average voter and the average level of like, I don't want to call like the average person stupid, but just how
That's okay.
propagandized the average person is.
You can say that because nobody considers themselves the average person, so they'll hear
They're
that and
like,
just be
oh
like,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's not me."
they're talking about everybody else.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are dumb and gay.
Yeah.
The average American voter, um,
Retarded. Literal
it's
retard.
well, to be more specific is coming from like they're treating it like a sports team, so they're propagandized to the
Team
point.
sport politics. Yeah.
Yes, and that's I think everybody says that, but until you've worked in that for a long time, you don't understand. I don't think you can 100% understand like and feel just what the public is and what that means. And I've kind of like experienced that at a young age. So now when I think in my head, because I always my head is always running and always spinning. If I ever do something that sounds political in my head and I'm talking to myself, because I'm fucking weird. Um, Anything that I think about society no longer, because a lot of people when their political stance comes from, I think this is what's best for society. I think this is what's best for people. I think this is what will save the most lives. Like this law will save most lives. I no longer like ever think from that standpoint or care to think from that standpoint, right? So like, and this was so you like the Patrick Bateman meme where he's like, I no longer wish for a better world for everyone. Like not
Yeah.
like that's literally
Babe.
me. He's literally me, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't think from a position of I want to make
I
anybody's
want
life
my
worse.
pain to be inflicted on others. Maybe not that part, but
Yeah, like I don't want anybody's life to be worse. I wish everybody's
You're a
life to be
stupid, ugly bitch.
yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite line in the movie.
I want to stab you to death and play with your blood. No, but like I just like if you ask me how I think like laws or anything should go, I no longer will think from a standpoint of what I think is best for the most people. I just like because I've seen quote unquote most voters or most people, at least in like the right half of the country. And I'm just like I have seen just how that it's not I wasn't talking to people when I talked to them. I was talking to like humanoids that were walking. Yeah, I was
NPCs.
Yes, I was talking to humanoids that could regurgitate propaganda.
You genuinely believed, you believed in the American political system, which happens to all of us.
Yeah, I believed in the American political system. And it was more than that too, because a lot of time too, I remember like even in like high school, right? And it's not that I'm exactly like an overly smart person, but in high school, like I was already, reading theory and shit like that. And I would just like I found it so cringe when somebody would say the words Republican and Democrat so many times. I would just sit there like that's very like one dimensional. You shouldn't think
Yeah.
like that. Like
The political
how about,
dichotomy is fucking archaic, bro. It's insane that we're still, and it is team sports. Like,
yeah,
it's insane that we're still in this.
You
And
know,
what you mean.
this has been going back since the fucking Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire. Every politician that was elected emperor or even a senator, it was noticed by the public if they rooted for the green or the blue team on the chariot races, because that's what really mattered to the public, not their policies, just what team they were on.
Yeah. I mean, we're essentially nothing's changed.
It's
I mean,
nothing's
literally-
changed. It's the same.
literally,
It's the
yeah.
same chest
Yeah.
beating. My tribe, your tribe. Fuck you.
well, that's the thing too. So normally you sit there and you think like, okay, and you sit there too. Like I was going into it and I was like, what, 21, 22 at the time. And I'm going into it and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, like, okay, but you expect that at a rally, right? Of course, everyone who's buying a ticket to hear Trump speak at a Trump rally is going to be pro-Trump. Okay, no duh. But like,
Sure.
I wasn't just going to rallies. I was going to people's homes, right? I would go to home to home to home in the middle of nowhere. This wasn't rallies. I saw firsthand that that a lot of Americans were just, if they agreed with me, if they disagreed with me, I wasn't like talking to humans. I wasn't talking to citizens. I was talking to people that were a product of the propaganda they consumed or the product of whatever media they consumed, and that was it. It was husks. I was
Yeah.
seeing husks that looked like people, and I saw that for a year straight. It wasn't just okay. The worst state. I'm sorry. The worst state is Florida, but like I went all across.
Huh.
I went all across the East Coast and the American Midwest, and just the average person was devoid of what I felt like was just basic, like, not to make them sound stupid, but basic thought. And they were
I mean, they are stupid.
they were an echo of what they thought made them felt cool. And
I mean, dude, that's what it is. That's what everyone does. You mentioned, people parroting the propaganda they ingest. I mean, I'm not gonna speak for you guys, but even I I mean, nobody is immune. You know what I mean? We just ingest like different That's why I have such a cynical, like hopeless attitude about it all. Because even though I'm unplugged, but things like memes still influence us. Like you said, that's how you got into libertarianism to begin with.
Dude, that's how
rules,
I
by the
get
way.
my news. That's how I get my news to this day.
Same. Yeah.
I would have
Being
never
unplugged.
known about that fucking billionaire sub if there just wasn't a shitload of memes about it.
Well,
That's the
you
only
know what
reason
that
I
was.
found out about it.
That was the news controlling the news cycle, just getting us away from fucking Hunter Biden or some shit, probably.
Oh,
Well,
man. Yeah, the whole fucking whose cocaine is this at the White House?
Yeah.
Or what the fuck even is that? That's insane.
You guys heard about that, right?
Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're telling me that somebody with a fucking ton of money and no real job is doing cocaine?
Oh
Wow.
my god!
That's,
That's
fucking crazy.
He's in a position of power.
Wait, are you gonna tell me next that he was having sex too or something? Because I don't want to hear that shit. That's
and there's like some hooker tit DNA on the cocaine. Oh, that's crazy.
I just picture some guy, some like DEA, like he lifts the film off the table. He's like, "Yeah, that's textbook hooker nipple."
This has been on
That's
some
hooker
hookers'
nipple for
nips, dude. You can tell.
Damn.
Yeah.
So,
The little orange tan residue is on this cocaine.
he licks his finger.
Someone
He's
had
like,
a great night.
he licks his finger. He's like, "Yep, that's a pasty for sure."
Dude,
Okay.
every night, someone at the White House does not snort coke off some tits. That's extreme self-control, and I respect
That's
that.
news. That's news.
Be
You
like,
come to me
dude,
and you tell me nobody in the White House is doing coke. I'm dialed in.
when they do like the political lineup, or not the criminal lineup, where they have all the possible suspects. They have all these like strippers with their tits out, right? Like one dude like sniffs all their tits, and then he sniffs the cocaine. He's like, "All right, it was off that stripper's tits, dude." And they have to like arrest her or something.
That's the nose feel. I remember that nose
Actually,
feel.
I'm not sure. Could we put coke on all their tits and let me try again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blows them all, and then he's like, "Okay, I can't. I don't know." Okay, yeah, that was her. That was her.
Yeah. No, it smells too citrusy to be this one. Never mind. Next one.
Citrusy. Wow.
I'm gonna need a second try on all 10. I don't know.
All 10.
My bad. I thought I could get it on the first try. My bad. I guess I'll just have to go through the whole lot again. My bad.
Yeah. They're like, "All right, you're useless. Get him back on a plane home to Florida."
Yeah. Wait. No. I swear I can. I just
So
need more
you did
coke.
say
I
you
just
said
need
you
more
thought
hooker
Florida.
coke.
You said you thought Florida was the worst state. What do you
Okay,
think
guys,
about Maryland?
All right, so like Baltimore, Maryland.
Sure, yeah. I mean, is there anywhere else in Maryland even?
I don't know. So
If there is, I don't know. It's
I did spend a campaign, so about a month and a half, working in Maryland under the Make Liberty Win, which is like a child of Young Americans for Liberty. So yeah, so I did work with them for a little bit. I mean, it wasn't anything too special, really, either way. At that point, I was promoted to being in charge of a group, so I wasn't as much in the trenches. But I mean, it was. I think what ended up happening was like the Republicans did really good in the primary. Like they did really good in the primary, but then after, like later, I think just the Democrats swiped a lot of Maryland, like in the election, like the actual general election.
yeah, because Maryland has like the lowest like high school graduation rates in the country. I think a couple years
Oh,
ago, I think
really?
I heard it was like fucking 4% or some shit.
Damn.
It could be wrong.
bad.
I could be a complete retard. But yeah, that's a fucking Democrat breeding ground.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible.
What's the correlation?
Huh.
They put us in like a
can
place that
only-
was like basically fucking downtown Baltimore, dude. But like where we would drive out and where we worked was like in the suburbs, and it was not
Okay.
as bad there. Yeah.
Cool.
Did you get paid for any of this, or was this all volunteer?
No, this was all paid. I did, like I said, I did
Oh,
the whole.
hell yeah.
I did the whole year, When I was at first, I did a 5-month long ass campaign in New Hampshire, and that one I got paid it was low. They basically paid minimum wage, but you worked 6 days a week. And then
Damn, that's tough.
yeah, and then I got promoted to like the guy who was in charge of the door knockers.
Nice lieutenant status.
I had people because I can track what they do. Like I had people
Hit
who
the
would
street, ho!
basically I had people who would go out and like they would spend their entire day at like McDonald's or something, and then they would come back to the house we bought them, and they would try
nobody
to get
answered.
Yeah, well, it's like
You're making me
no,
spit up wine, dude. Fuck.
well, it's as if they didn't do any like they legitimately didn't attempt to do any work, and then they would come back and want to get paid for 8 hours of work, like they worked all day, and it was like I would literally sit there like because I would have to put in their pay hours up to HR, and I'm just like, dude, I can't put any pay hours for you today because you didn't work today. You just
You
sat
didn't do
in
anything,
McDonald's.
bitch.
So you had to
Yeah.
stonewall some people. What kind of reactions did you get from that? Any
Like I
very
like I
mad
said, it
people?
was a lot of college kids who didn't have like work ethic yet. So a lot of them would get like mad, or they would just be confused. And it's like, well, you didn't work. You know what I
You
mean?
didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Stick
you have to
bundle.
work for money.
Yeah, and I try to
Fucking
be
Marxist.
like when I try to be like in charge of people, I try not to be like up their ass or anything. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
if they had gone out and attempted, I would do what I can to get them as much money as they can. You know.
Yeah.
But if they go out
That's
and they have literally no work to show, they would come back home and I would tell them like, I can't pay you for today. My hands
do
are
you-
literally. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. How do you show that? How do you show that you did the work? Like, is it? I
At
mean, you're
least
not
try.
getting you're not getting signatures off people. Are you taking their location or like?
No, so we used this like phone app called i360, which would tell all the door knockers ahead of time, here's all the doors that you can go and you can knock and you can talk to people. And they would go, and after every door on their phone, they would be like, they would put in what response, like did the door answered, what response they got, that sort of thing.
You get
And
coordinates
I-
off that?
Yeah, so I was able to
Okay.
check, like I was able to pull up because I had the back end sort of stuff because now I was like
Yeah.
in charge of people. I could check where they were when they typed in the stuff. So like if they were on like if they were near the house or on the same street of who they just knocked, I would be like, okay, well that was probably like, you know, a legit door they knocked. But there would
Dude.
be times where like somebody's like 5 miles up the road at a freaking Five Guys, you know, and they're saying that they're
Yeah.
doing like 20 doors in 10 minutes. It's like, dude, you're not even trying to hide it from me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
None of those guys answered. Sorry, boss.
I'm sorry,
That's-
dude. Dirk, are you fucking farting into the mic over there?
No, I think it's my computer chair squeaking.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm over here. I'm
Is
like
it sound
trying to
like
hold it
farts?
together. I'm like, dude, is this dude ripping ass in the mic?
I have I have a fart board, but
No,
I'm
don't
not
do
hitting
that. We want real farts only on this. Okay, that was fake.
Real farts only.
Yeah, dude. We still neither of us have hit a real live fart on the mic yet. So
Oh my
if
God.
I smoke,
You
if
got-
I
you
smoke
guys
even a
don't-
little bit of weed, he will crush me with those farts, and I will
You guys
just go
don't.
into
You guys don't like
histrionics
that.
every time.
You guys don't like my fart board. You don't think that's funny?
You know I love the fart board.
The fart board.
You know I fucking
Come
love
on,
the
dude.
fart board. I just right now we got a guest, so
Oh man,
Yeah.
that one's.
and I'm not
nasty.
high. If I smoke one hit of weed, dude, I will literally be like on my side, like in histrionics.
I know. I wait till you're already laughing at something, and then I just start smashing.
Then
What
the
am I-
fart sound.
Click that
It's just
motherfucking
smash.
fart button, dude.
Just over and over.
Oh my
again.
god, I'm not high right now, but that's still funny as hell.
Dude, that was 'cause
Anyway.
that one is the echo. Anyways, dude, we're
These
completely
fuckers.
derailing. We're
Sorry,
completely
farts-
derailing
No,
this.
Farts are a
good,
big
you're
deal.
This is a comedy podcast. I like this. I like
Farts-
the story. I'm not trying to derail the story. The
I
story's
mean, farts
good.
are a slam dunk. No, every time. Like, there's
Well,
nothing.
dude, it's like, come on.
that
was
one with
an
the
echo.
reverb. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
reverb.
You got the bowl fucking mechanics on it.
Terminator.
I don't like that
God,
one.
dude.
That sounds like a Minecraft noise.
It does now that
And you know what? Or like, what's that? Oh, an arc when you're when one of your dinosaurs fucking shits. You ever play Ark, dude?
I've never
All
played
right, take
it.
it
No,
easy, bro.
I've seen people play it, I think, a little bit, but I've never played it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Ark's all right.
get into it.
I just hate what a time sink it
It's
is.
a
It's
time
a fucking
suck, dude.
absolute time vampire with the worst UI I've ever seen in my fucking life. Worse than Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Okay, so just
Especially
to
if you're on
round off,
console.
hey, let's round off the political. So the last thing you said was that these guys are hitting Five Guys and like saying that they hit every house in the
Sorry,
neighborhood,
boss.
basically.
Sorry, boss. No one answered.
So how do you handle that?
So when we were actually, so the biggest offender that we had for what he would do, and he did this for like 2
Black guy,
months.
right?
No.
Bleep
He was
that.
like this-
Bleep that.
He was like this fat white dude, and
Oh,
he-
okay. Fat
he would-
fat white dudes are like the same as just like a regular black dude in work ethic.
The
Damn,
same amount of
bro.
effort.
So what he would
We'll
do
bleep
was
those.
he would literally.
No, I'm not gonna bleep that. That was hilarious, dude. That's fucking.
So he would
Okay.
drive out.
Go ahead.
He would drive out to where he was like in the general-ish area where he was supposed to be knocking, and he would go to like the nearest fast food place, like a Five Guys or McDonald's or something, and he would literally sit. And he did this for months before they caught him. So he was getting paid to do nothing for months. And
Oh
not
my
only do they
Christ.
because it's traveling, not only they give you money, they give you a place to stay. So they're buying you a place to stay. It's usually like a shitty ass Airbnb, and they give you like the gas money. So he was getting paid to do nothing, and he faked his stuff for like a month and a half or like 2 months.
Pretty well.
And-
I take it. Hit it pretty well.
What?
He hit it pretty well. Hided it.
He did a shit
no.
job hiding it pretty well. It's just the problem
Oh.
is like, so like the boss that was in charge of him just honestly didn't care. So like HQ, which I believe this was Make Liberty Win. So their HQs in like South Carolina, and we were in this, like, I think a lot of this was happening in like New Hampshire and Baltimore and shit like that. Like they just weren't checking themselves. And like the person in charge of him wasn't checking. So he did this for like 2 months, and then they finally caught up. And what they did was because even though they had 2 months of data showing that he was cheating and not that he did no work for 2 months straight.
That's actually very libertarian.
Yeah, what they did
No, it's not,
was
you piece of shit.
before they even went and talked to him about it, was they would pull up what he was doing in real time. They sent 2 people, and they pulled up what he was doing in real time. They sent 2 people to go to the neighborhoods that he was supposedly knocking in real time.
Damn,
And
dude.
they would park and wait to see him, and they could see on their phones that he was marking houses that he talked to, and he wasn't anywhere to be seen.
Damn, they hit him with the receipts, dude. That's brutal.
Yeah, so they got him with the receipts, and they went to him, and they're like, "Hey, you're not working." And he's like, "Oh, there must be something wrong on your end. Like, I'm working." And they're like, "We have 2, like, witnesses that say you're
2
not working."
separate.
Yeah,
Wow.
like we
I
have
was like,
2.
where the fuck are you, dude? We're
We have-
here.
We out here. You literally, like, we have 2 separate eyewitnesses, and we have like literally 2 months of data saying that you haven't done anything in the last 2 months. And basically, the dude, like, he legitimately got mad because, like, he could. So in his mind,
He spazzed.
yes, in his mind, and this is what
Hang
I
on,
hated because
I'll be right back. I got some Grubhub at the door. Sorry, guys.
no,
okay.
you're good.
Go on, bro.
Go on.
Yeah. So in his mind, he wasn't like mentally mature enough to admit that he did something wrong.
Yeah.
So he blamed HQ and was like, "You guys want me to work too much?" I'm like, "Well, you haven't worked in 2 months, so what is working too much?" You know what I mean?
At all? Like, is working at
Yeah.
all too much? Wow.
Yeah. So he
I'm not gonna
legitimately-
lie, dude. That's very shitty, but I like this guy. I don't know why. I don't know why, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it
He's
is
a
very
fat piece of shit.
humorous. It's very humorous to be like, I was there.
Yeah, like spazzing, like you're the wrong one. That is funny as hell.
Yeah, so this happened for like 2 months, and they came to him, and what he did was he was like, so like, oh no, I was there, and they were like, no, you weren't, and he was all like, well, screw this job, you guys expect too much out of me, and they literally, I would, if it were up to me, dude, and I hire a guy and I pay for him to live and drive and work and live and all that shit for 2 months straight, and I find out he's not doing anything for 2 months, I would, no holds barred, I would immediately would have fired him if it was me. This dude was given the option, if you start working legit, we'll keep you. And he left. Like,
wow, dude.
That's what they did to him. And they said they gave him the option to stay, but he didn't stay. And
They should have fucking horsewhipped that guy. Should
yeah,
have brought him
dude,
out back and just whipped him.
Dude,
Lashings,
tell me you're
20
not
lashings.
eating. Tell me you're not fucking eating on the mic right now, dude.
No, I'm eating myself between bites, dude.
Yeah. No.
Alright.
No, but so and literally too, so around this time, and this is what I hated a lot. Around this time, a lot of the vets who had been working with them for a few years that liked it when there was no bureaucracy, that liked it when there was like everybody, like there was like all the people working for the libertarians were doing like underage drinking and shit like that, right, on their stuff, which, okay, at the end of the day, dude, like, I don't lose sleep if like some fucking 18-year-old drinks, right?
Sure.
But they're when they're doing on company time and the company's getting screwed over for it, I can see why a company would ask somebody not to drink, because a lot of these people were college kids who had no filter, who could not take care of themselves. And you take somebody who can't take care of themselves and you put them in a libertarian environment of young libertarians who think they need to do as much as possible that's illegal to like have fun and enjoy themselves. And it was so much PR nightmares and like HR disasters just nonstop.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ahead of myself though. So anyways, a bunch of these guys that wanted it to, used to be like the old way, formed this shadow group. And they actually tried to add me into this shadow group.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
but I don't. And I'm like, and also at this point, I'm like, dude, I don't want to, I don't want to be in, I don't want nothing to do with this. Like a lot of times there's
Was it like a
drama and
coup?
shit.
Was it like a coup?
They wished it was a coup. They could not do anything.
Didn't even get that
wished
far.
They wish they had the power to do the coup, but essentially HQ was like, no, you guys can go fuck yourselves.
They were LARPing. They were LARPing a coup.
We're the actual libertarians. We'd smoke meth.
We do whatever the fuck we want, and we don't care if we just waste somebody's money.
Yeah, so they would all get together and they formed themselves like this big, not this big, but like a shadow, like a little a shadow group within that, where they had their own secret group chat. Yeah, they had their own cabal, and they were like, man, we don't like how they're running things. They're making us work. They tried
to rise up. They tried to rise up on the libertarians.
Yeah, well, none of them had the balls. So a lot of these guys were cowards that never actually did anything straight up. They would come together and they would complain, and they would be like, we need to demand more, and they never actually did anything for the most part.
They all get in a room. They're all like shoving the other guy forward. They're like, you say it. Like,
I will kid you not, the shadow group at one point, because I wasn't with them, and there was one point where a guy who was on my team was saying that he didn't even have a car. I was driving, or somebody else on my team would drive him around every day to where he needed to go. He didn't even have a car.
Like, how much can you be spoon-fed, like, your job for you?
He was absolutely spoon-fed everything. And so I would, at one point, he sent me a message or something that, like, he deserved, so he was, like I said, he's not driving, he's not doing anything. He said that he deserved to get paid, even though he wouldn't work all day, he would cheat all day. He wanted to get paid for driving, after he was done working, for driving home. And so he found like some legal text out of quote, and that's all he had, and he screenshot it and he sent it to me. And I was just like, whatever, because he sent it to me at like midnight. And then at some
When he had
point,
booze courage, he probably had a couple beers. He's like, yeah, fuck this.
In between
Yeah.
jacking off,
yeah, dude. And
in
so
between nuts.
He threw a Five Guys wrapper over his shoulder, wiped his stomach off, and then sent you that picture.
No, that was legitimately what he would do. And so he sent me like a screenshot of that. And I was just like, whatever. It was like midnight or something. I went back to bed. Well, he also sent that to another dude that was like big in the shadow thing, that really hated that people had to work and they weren't getting paid for free. So he sends it to like this shadow guy, and the shadow guy straight up goes to the higher ups and is like, hey, somebody show me this thing that is really good to know that you guys need to pay us even when we're not working, or something like that.
Wow, dude. You guys are in the wrong fucking political party for that.
Yeah, and
Way
so
wrong.
like I said,
Sorry.
he was in my group at the time. I was in charge of him. So the next day, the big guy in HQ calls me up and is like, hey, your guy is saying, like, is pulling up legal texts, and trying to argue that we need to pay him when he's not, working or doing anything. And I didn't defend him at that point. Like, he's like, oh, I didn't defend him at that point. I just said, yeah, he showed me the text. Here, like, at that point, he didn't have the actual text. I just sent him the actual text. I said, here's the actual screenshot. He wants to get paid, even though he doesn't have a car or anything, he wants to get paid for driving home. I wasn't going to deal with it. I just said, here's what he's doing. My boss, the guy that was asking me about that was asking me about my worker that was going around in the shadow group.
Yeah.
Straight up goes to my worker and is like, he says my name. He says, like, your boss, he's like, lit me, bro, literally came to me and said that you said this to him, right? He didn't even leave any room for interpretation. He just my boss did the most dumbest fucking thing he could do. And dude, I remember too, like that upset him so much that he went to the shadow group and he's like, lit me bro is throwing everyone under the bus so he can look good for HQ. And I kid you not, literally everybody was in the shadow group. It was like 12 people, and then like some people who weren't even working with them anymore all took the day off. They all took the day off and they went together in a room. They all went together. There were some people in the shadow group that liked me and they were telling me about all this. They all came together and they all started
They LARPed a strike.
No, not a strike. They all came together.
So libertarian.
That's not libertarian, dude. This is commie
shit. That's the joke.
Shit.
That was the joke.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of libertarians aren't libertarians. They're people who are looking after themselves, that want themselves taken care of for free.
Yeah, that's so gay, dude. That sucks. That gives a bad name to libertarians, which I'm not here to defend libertarians really, because I'm out. I don't have any skin in the game on that, but it does bother me a little bit how hard libertarians get dragged by auth rights,
Yeah.
Because those, I mean, really, that you're alienating your closest possible ally in a world where everyone is already against you,
Yeah, and
so it
like
seems counterintuitive.
They all took the day off. They all came together in a room, and they all worked together to look through like group chats and stuff, and like literally compile whatever they could out of context and send it to like HR in an attempt to get me fired.
Yeah, to try and get some kind of like legal fucking foothold on their slacking.
Because I wasn't going to defend their antics and work with this shadow group that wanted to get paid for nothing. They were going to try to get me fired and get me out. And they said, we want this guy gone.
Gay. What a bunch of pussies, dude.
The fact that there's even a shadow group in the libertarian political group is fucking hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. That's how it was. And
that's unfortunate.
After that point, they sort of got me like a bit of a promotion though, because after that point, I didn't stay with them. I was back in New Hampshire. Well, at first I stood my ground too, and I remember they pulled some stuff that was out of context, and I did like a really bad job defending myself to HR. Like they would pull some stuff out of context in like our private group chats where we were just sending memes, and they would be like, oh, you sent a meme that seems kind of kind of like racial humor. Why'd you do that? And like I would literally be on the phone with HR and be like, because I thought it was funny.
Nice.
Based.
I didn't lie or anything to HR. HR was like, hey, look, I would be like, it's a private group chat, has nothing to do with work. That's, I'll just I'd tell them the whole thing, like, that's not my actual belief. I do apologize that you're dealing with this now, but I thought that was funny. I put it in a private group chat. I don't.
You were the Rock of fucking Gibraltar out there, just waves of
LGTV.
just trying to tear you down. They couldn't. You're like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, dude.
This fucking rock is still standing.
An immovable object.
Yeah. Meets a fucking gay force.
Yeah, dude, and that essentially happened. So because it's politics, even though like 99% of the people in charge were like, no, we like this guy, we know he didn't do anything bad, because it's politics. Because there was a lot of people who didn't like me, they were like, we have to get rid of him. So what they did was they got me a job that was basically a promotion in Minnesota. And so for the last several months of like 2022 of me working, I was in Minnesota, and I went from being in charge to a bunch of people to essentially being a specialist, which was essentially I would most of the time work on my own, and I was like the in charge guy and the door knocking guy at the same time. Like they essentially looked at me and they said, you're really good. Like I had awards, like national awards, like 1 out of 1,000 people kind of awards by this point. Like I was really good for them. They looked at me and they said, we know we can trust you. We know you're a hard worker. They said, you're going to be a specialist. We're basically just going to point you in a direction and you're going to go do stuff. And you're going to, and you're going to compile it all together and tell us what you did. And I did that for like 1.5, 2 months in like the Minnesota area. And, it was actually like, because for the most part I was working on my own. I had to drive around like this one gay dude that like, even though he was like 30, acted like he was like 12.
Nice.
Which was kind of annoying because like he basically couldn't take care of himself. But I mean, other than that though, like my job was great. Like my job at that point, like they got me a promotion by trying to cancel me, and everybody too who tried to cancel
that
me,
rules. That's gotta feel good.
Everybody who tried to cancel me, like by now, has been blacklisted by just about most of the political things you can work for.
Good.
Based.
Can't have people like that, fucking young college age fucking retards, just think that they shouldn't have to do anything. And thought that Libertarian Party was the place where you don't fucking do anything. Kind of crazy.
And it's
Kind of funny.
Our job was like real easy. Like you didn't even have to be good at the job, right? If you went door to door and you were just like some spastic going, please vote this way, and the person said no and slammed the door in your face, that was perfectly fine enough for them. You didn't have to be good at the job.
You tried.
You didn't even have to be that hard of a worker, right? As long as like you were attempting like every hour of the workday, and they had like that you were doing something down, they were like, all right, he's working, cool. It was not hard. You could be like a slow, bad worker, and you were totally fine. Yeah, and you would be totally fine with them. They were chill with that.
Look, I'm expressing my right to work as hard as I want.
Yeah, I mean, that only gets you so far.
I'm just expressing my utmost individualism. Is that not libertarian enough for you guys?
Not libertarian. Yeah.
I mean, individualism as like an idea is not I wouldn't say like personality individualism is not a fucking libertarian value. Like the way that these people look at individualism, like I'm special and I'm different, is not
Yeah, that was the joke.
Bruh.
Oh, bro, that was pretty funny, bro.
Anyways, let's get off this. Well, actually,
yeah.
Unless you had more, if you had more to say, I'm not going to cut you off. You got more to say about that?
That's basically it, dude. I've been in the trenches. I've done political work, dude. I no longer think that I can change the country through politics. Like I just no longer care to even attempt to do that. I think
you can't.
To me, that's a lost cause, and I just no longer think the people are worth me trying that hard to change them. So I'm just like, I just don't think it's worth it anymore.
I mean, this boots on the ground political shit is completely like I mean, it's on the same level as like bread and circuses. Like it's just literally for us. You know what I mean?
Dude, everyone's already decided who they're gonna vote for the next 10 years.
Yeah, everyone's entrenched. Everyone's so
Just
entrenched in their
everyone's like,
beliefs.
there's no way you can change my mind, no matter what you say.
I mean, hey, yeah, you're the same way. I'm the same way. I don't want
I'm
to
not
speak for
talking
Lit,
shit
bro.
about that. Like, you'd have to really show me some fucking God-made miracles to make me think I should change my mind on.
Yeah, you'd have to have the
anything.
receipts for why, like,
Why? How? What? Are you lying?
yeah,
Proof you're
like,
not lying.
like actually the shadow fucking Chimo cabal is you guys, like that kind of shit. Like that's the only thing, but that's
Yeah.
never gonna happen because. And when I say you guys, that doesn't even mean anything actually because there are Republicans who are in on that too. You know. So it's all just it's a farce.
Crazy.
It's all gay. Let's anyways, let's get
Oh,
off
I was gonna
topical
ask
shit that
you, dude.
actually matters.
What did you
What's up?
fucking Grubhub that was so important that you had to eat it on the mic?
I thought I did a pretty good job muting between bites, but
Between
Yeah,
bites, but you tried to talk with a mouthful, which is
There
like
was
very apparent.
one instance where you talked with food in your mouth. You won't let it go.
I hate when people
maybe-
do that. I hate it.
I don't know. I think I might just sound like that.
Dude, I
am
grew up-
retarded.
You got any brothers, Lit, bro, or sisters?
I have one brother. That's it. It's just me and him.
Is he older or younger?
Older, so he's like 5 years older than me. He's like a nurse for like a correctional facility.
Okay. So you
Yeah, dude,
probably
like-
caught some. You
Damn,
probably
dude, this
caught
guy's
some at
fucking
home.
working at Arkham.
You basically do.
True.
Damn.
So you probably caught some at home bullying back in the day, right?
No, oh gosh, no. Like
No.
if anything, like when we were kids, my brother was very He most of the time, like when we were younger, he was, because he was 5 years older than me. He was very much like leave me alone-ish sort of thing,
Okay.
and he most of the time wanted to go do his own thing. Like we didn't really spend too much time together, and you know when we did, like he would be chill with me. When I was a kid, I was like a little dick, and most of the time it was like when I was like a little kid, I would be a dick to him, but he was like a pretty,
Oh.
you know. He was like a patient, nice, like older brother. He didn't
So
really.
you had the
bully me.
reverse. You kind
Yeah.
of bullied him, maybe.
Yeah, like it's not like
not
sort of
bully,
straight up
but-
bullying, but I was like a little, like I would hassle him and be like a little bitch to him, dude. And then you know, and then now that we're older too, like we're like, you know, we're several states away from each other, but like we're really close. We talk all the time. We're just like we're there
Cool,
for
that
each
rules.
other. Yeah,
Dude, there's nothing better than having fucking brothers, dude. Those are like your first friends, your first bullies, your first like confidants and shit. Not to sound like a complete queer, but like
yeah.
I feel bad for people who grow up like only children or whatever. Like
Yeah, dude, I got a stepbrother, but like my only like I have two half brothers. The one that I grew up
having
with.
a half brother is the same as having a brother. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
same.
but he's like I was like 11 when he was born. So my fondest
Oh, yeah.
memory, actually, you were there. I think we were playing Gears of War over at my apartment, and I threw a bucket on his head and slapped it.
What the fuck?
So
Damn, that's
he
tough
probably
as
you were
nails.
there, dude. You were there. He
I
remembers
might have
it.
been there. Are you talking
he-
about G?
Yeah. He tells me he remembers it. He's like, I still remember that, you son of a bitch.
I bet he fucking does, dude. I bet the sound
'Cause
still
it's
rings
just
in his ears.
Yeah, he just got like a bucket on his head. I just slapped it. Ding!
Damn, that's asshole shit, bro.
Bong.
That's fucking tough. That's funny as hell. I have an older brother and I have two younger brothers, but I was
Ugh.
always the bully for all of my brothers, including the older one. And I was about to talk shit and be like, dude, that's fucked up that you did that. But I remember one time, this was back when we lived in Cali. I was maybe like 8. My older brother was 9. He was just sitting there playing Sonic 2 on the Genesis. And I was a little ADHD spaz, dude. I was a little spaz when I was a fucking kid. I don't know what came over me. I'm just walking past him like, la da 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 da. I fucking grab him by the back of the head. I grab his hair on the back of his head, and I smack his face into the fucking desk of the that the TV is on, dude, and I chipped his fucking front tooth.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
It was so mean. I felt so bad about it for so long. Like we went into middle school, and eventually, I think around our freshman year, he ended up getting a fucking crown on it. But like he went through a long period of life with a fucking chipped smile because of me.
my fucking
Jesus.
stupid
LGTV.
brother smashed my face.
It was
Yeah.
tough. We were close. I mean, like he and I are still cool. Obviously, I'm actually way cooler with my younger brothers though. Like because once it got to the point where I was like out of high school, I kind of was like, I was calmed down, and
Aren't the older ones all well,
only one older one.
Yeah, isn't he like San Franciscan?
Well, I mean, we're
In-
both cut
in
from the
nature?
same cloth.
I meant-
No, he's actually oh yes, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, he is. My older brother is gay, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, he's always been the same fucking weirdo I knew. I mean, my family is a bunch of like slight autists. Him more so though, for
Yeah,
sure.
well, you mix Italian and Irish people, and like, what do you expect?
Dude, that's just what happens with race mixing. I don't want to get onto a fucking rocky waters here, but I mean, like, that kind of shit like leads to not only like physical problems, but like, yeah, mental problems and shit like that. It can anyway. I don't think that race mixing is the leading cause of mental problems.
Dude, I'm half German, half Scottish, and I'm fucking retarded.
You're retarded. Yeah, dude, you're retarded. There's nothing anyone can do, and it's tough. I'm just kidding, dude.
My bad, wrong sound effect.
I didn't even hear it, so it's cool.
You were climbing through the bench to beat his ass.
Oh, my bad.
The weakness
got-
of my flesh.
I gotta label these fucking sound effects, dude. These are not what I think they're gonna be.
Oh,
like.
you just fucking shooting in the dark?
No, well, I mean,
throwing
I
darts,
see,
sticks?
I have one sound effect that says Warhammer 40,000. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
When am I gonna use that?
That's not even a full sentence. That's just
Well, I keep cutting it. It's a fucking monologue from.
Are these gonna come through on the
mechanic.
recording, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, well stop it then. Anyway, you never told us what you grubbed hubbed.
I was
Not that I
Taco
give
Bell.
a shit
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
It was Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Fair enough.
Sick. Classic, I mean.
Yeah.
I've only ever like had one thing of food delivered, and it was like Taco Bell.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty much that's when you're in dire straits. The night is ending and
I
you're
had
like,
plenty
"Holy
of
fuck, what is
choices.
open?"
I had plenty of choices,
yeah.
and I chose evil.
That shows you.
I chose
mean,
the
you've had a couple.
darkness.
You've had a couple.
I-
There's almost nothing better when you've had a couple of
Yeah,
those,
dude. I had a fucking Coors Banquet, 25er. I had a sour apple Four Loko, and I'm right in here. I'm drinking a Sutter Home Cabernet Sauvignon that was
All right, well, why don't you take it easy on the wine going forward,
supposed
bro?
to be for cooking.
Dude. Yeah, I was like thinking, I'm like, oh, cool. He's gonna crack Four Loko. He's gonna sip it.
No, I was
You
done
just
before we
maintain a
even
nice buzz. Yeah, you fucking chugged it, you piece of shit.
Dude, I'm sorry. They're just so tasty.
Yeah,
It just
I
tastes like
100%
sour-
disagree with
It
that.
just
That's-
tastes like sour apple candy. Anyways, dude, let's get off this topical shit.
Oh yeah, there was something that you wanted. You kind of brought this up on an episode that we did already, but have yet to release. So now there will be 2 episodes after this where the 5 listeners hear us talk about something that has already been talked about. Oh wait, no, that's right. We didn't go deep into this, but yeah, you were mentioning some shit about some wacky dreams. Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
mean,
was a,
yeah,
that was a
I mean,
pretty that
yes
was
or
a
no?
pretty big intro.
Pretty big. What do you mean?
Now I feel like I'm on the spot, dude. You got me teened up, dude.
Okay,
Dude,
well, how about this?
I was
How
kind
about
of
this?
I was
went.
kind of hanging dong, and then like now you like put so much attention on, dude.
I put him on
topics-
Shriv.
I'm
You sitting
yeah,
there with
come
your
on,
cock
Shriv,
out?
dude. I'm kind of fucking.
Yeah, dude, that's what he does.
You got me
shrimped
You
up.
got me shrived up, dude.
Dude,
That's
I
way
do my
too
best.
big of an intro.
I do my best. I do my best thinking and talking when I'm shrimped up. So
It's,
I don't know.
Okay.
it's like, bro, we got a podcast coming up, dude. I just gotta let my nuts hang, get some Taco Bell, get buzzed real quick. All right,
I mean,
let's go.
I thought
Get the
I
juices
thought it was
flowing.
fine, and then I got put on the spot. Now I'm kind of
If this-
shriv. I'm on shriv, dude.
If
Iron
this
out the
was
wrinkles.
if this was
Any-
truly a free country, Taco Bell would have alcoholic products.
They do in
Oh,
Las
dude,
Vegas.
did you hear about? Yeah, I was gonna say they had a Baja fucking like mixed drink or something. you
Yeah,
could do at
dude,
one
they
of
have a
these.
fucking full ass tequila Baja bar in Vegas, and I might make a pilgrimage.
Yeah,
I want to
Uh,
go to Vegas so bad, dude.
My fucking wife's
I
been
like
there
the
with her
idea of it,
sisters, and she told me
there's
it's
nothing there for me.
it's cool because you're allowed to just day drink in the street, and
Dude, I can do that here.
well, they
I could do
actually don't give-
heroin
you
here
could,
on
you
the
could
street.
literally be walking around with whatever. They don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Dude, drugs are decriminalized here. I work over on 122nd and Gleason. You know how many people I see
Well, they're
every
technically
single
okay. Well,
morning
like if you're like
smoking
a
heroin?
if you're a sharp dressed man doing drugs, the police will stop you. But if you're like obviously bum maxing, then they'll be like, okay.
I don't know, dude. I think if
Okay,
they
let's
see, I think they'd
try
be
it.
refreshed.
We could actually make a pretty good YouTube video. It's like we'll have
I
like
got
one
suits,
of us.
bro. I could suit you up. I could suit you up, bro.
I'll suit up and I'll fucking snort some coke in front of cops. You
Okay.
could put on your worst clothes ever and look dirty and do the same thing like a block away. This would actually
I don't
be
know, dude. I'm thinking they'd be refreshed to see. They'll be like, "There's a nice, upstanding citizen smoking heroin for once," instead of all these bums.
I'll wave, dude. I'll literally like do it, then wave and be like, "Well, I thought this was America."
I thought
True.
this was America.
I thought this was America. I was gonna ask Lit Bro. I talked to you about this already, but when or sorry, how was your fourth? What'd you do this fourth? You keep it mellow? Were you working or what?
So I worked the 4th, but I worked the morning. So like, and I had the next day off. So what I ended up doing
Oh,
was
nice.
Based.
That
yeah.
rules.
So I had to go into work, and I remember I went into work, and work sucked because I work in like a restaurant, and it was like raining hard for like the first half of the day.
Yeah.
So like all of the Midwest basically just said, "Hey, look, our 4th of July celebration is going to be at this one fucking restaurant." So we were understaffed, but we were so busy, and like work sucked. But even though it sucked, like I was like coasting through it because I'm sitting here like, this is going to be great drinking fuel. And then
Hell yeah.
4th of July ends. I went to my apartment real quick to grab, because I didn't bring my alcohol to work. And
Oh,
Smart.
I
that's not very
I grabbed-
libertarian.
or stupid. I don't know actually.
No, go on. Sorry, go on.
I could have saved some time if I had it. No, but I grabbed all my alcohol, and then I drove to like my friend's place, and we went there, and we started doing like some vodka. We started doing tequila shots. Like it was like 4th of July, and I can't remember if we did. I can't remember. I don't think we. Okay, no. Okay, what we did do is we got me and like 2 buddies of mine got properly like
Spanked.
hammered. Yeah, and I don't smoke anything, but they do, and I think they probably smoked a little something too. So we're all properly.
You talking sweet or some party favors?
You know, Swede, probably
Oh,
some
okay.
Swede. Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
no
yeah.
biggie.
So they're properly hammered. I'm properly hammered, and at one point, one of them just goes, "Hey, we're going to go into the woods and look. It's pitch black. We haven't done really anything other than drink all day." And he's like, "We're going to go into the woods and look for this mushroom or something." He shows me a picture of it. And I'm like, because dude, I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Bro, I got bad knees. I'm going to freaking pop a knee. You know, I'm drunk, dude." And basically everybody was like, the other 2 guys were like, "Hey, don't be a bitch, you're going." And I'm just like, "All right, I guess I'm going." So we're all going into the woods. There's no trail or anything. We're just going through fucking trees and bushes and shit, drunk as fuck. And they brought
Sounds
like
tight.
yeah, they brought like some beers with them, and I remember obviously we didn't find in the middle of the night the one, and it wasn't like a special mushroom or anything. It was just literally just a random brown mushroom that you could just
Like an edible kind of mushroom, like just
Yeah,
a food mushroom, or
it was nothing like, it was nothing that would give you any sort of like special effects or anything. It was literally
yeah,
just a
no psilocybin.
yeah, dude. It was
Bruh.
literally just some random fucking mushroom, like
That's
you,
wild.
when you play
That's
Minecraft.
crazy.
And you play Minecraft and like there's the brown mushroom that pops up every once in a while. It does literally nothing.
Bro,
That's
they
what
got
we were-
cremini nearby.
Dude, who does that? Who's like, let's go get this mushroom that, I mean, is it even edible? At least as a food? Like,
It was like they told me that like if you dried
Okay,
it out or
alright.
something, like you could put it like in your food or whatever. So and we
Okay.
weren't even
that's
cooking.
something at least.
Yeah, we weren't even cooking. Like we were just like, okay, let's do it. So we never found it. And I remember we went like maybe a quarter, half a mile into the woods. We didn't see anything yet, and he pulls out like this beer or something. I'm not like maybe like a Mike's or something. But I'm not too much of a beer guy. Usually he pulls out this beer, and I'm like start drinking it and just yell in the middle of the woods. This tastes like ass. It was so bad, dude. And
I mean, that sounds kind of fun, honestly. Just going on a like impromptu, like, let's go fucking just find this thing.
Remember that time in front of Nolan's house where we just were like, you know what? This entire hedge of cinder blocks, let's just bust them up in the street.
what the fuck?
No, I
dude?
don't remember that actually. I
Dude,
don't
and
remember
then
that.
two guys showed up. I don't remember what they looked like, but I remember it was their names were Luis and something. You don't
Couple lads,
remember you don't
Mexies.
remember over the top of your head just slamming into the street some cinder blocks with a fella named Luis and his other
No,
friend. These guys were
I don't at
these
all.
guys were at least as drunk as us. We were already busting up cinder blocks. They were just walking by like as buzzed, being like, "Yo, could we smash one of
rules."
those?" And we're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, dude, we got plenty."
I feel like if me and the boys were just walking drunk and we see some people, just a giant pile of cinder blocks, just smashing them up, and they're drunk too, like we would just it's literally like peak masculine mind, just connecting like, oh, we're gonna
That
smash
is.
it. Literally,
That is some high tea. That's high tea shit
Dude,
right
that's
there. We're
that's
just like,
that's
"Hol-
what happened. They were walking by from one bar to another, just mid journey. They see us smashing, like lifting over our head, slam to the ground, smashing cinder blocks from the place we were staying at's fucking hedge. We just
yeah."
decided,
So that was on the property. That from the
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
was.
just we took them
Yeah.
from the property.
Disclaimer to the guys listening:
Walked
I
in the
have
street.
probably many holes in my memory from
Yeah.
years of hard drug
It's
abuse,
fine. Yeah,
which I have
it's-
since moved on
Bruh.
from. But
It's fine.
there's still
It's
some
fine.
holes in the memory.
Bruh, bruh.
It's okay, dude. We took those, walked them in the street, over the head, just straight down, smashed them. And this guy, I don't know if he's Mexican or Spanish. He was kind of racially vague. Kinda like-
ambiguous.
He kind of looked like what's that guy from Res 4? The guy from the cop from Madrid that helps Leon. Kind of looked like that.
Luis.
Yeah, he
That
kinda
is
looked-
Luis also.
What do you know about
Is that where you got his name from?
No, that I do remember that was his name because I remember making that connection. It was that guy,
Okay.
and it was like that and some
Solid.
Fred. It was that guy and some Fred Durst looking motherfucker.
Did I know them? Were they like guys?
No,
Did they know
there were
us,
two
or-
completely
Oh, okay.
random guys walking by, saw us smashing
that's
cinder
sick as hell.
blocks, and they're like, "Dude, could we smash some of those?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Get the fuck over here, bro.
Yeah, and so we started smashing blocks together, and they were like, "Dude, you guys are the best."
Yeah.
And we're like, "No, you guys are the best." We started smashing blocks together, and we're like, "I'll never forget you, Luis." Luis.
Dude, that's
Oh,
guy
dude.
heaven.
That's guy heaven, dude.
right
And then we
there.
never
Yeah,
we
dude.
never saw them again. I'll never forget them.
That's just a pure, just awesome fucking memory. Ripple in time, lost forever.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
that is
okay.
that is peak like women hate how little it takes for men to be happy.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, dude, it reminds me of that meme where it's like girls at the beach and it's like, take this selfie of me, and then it's like guys at the beach. One guy's digging a hole, and then the other Chad guy's like,
Yeah.
dude, sick hole, dude. Like,
Like,
Oh,
like
that's
just
sick.
all the guys like, do we have to help this dude build a hole? It's like literally our job.
yeah, That fucking rules, dude. Man, wow, what a good memory. I wish I had that. Dude, chicks wish they could have that level of fun, like, but they just meet another woman, and female ego is completely based around exclusion, so they have to automatically.
Who
be
are we
like,
gonna fucking destroy so I can feel enjoyment?
Yeah, yeah, they're like gauging how hot they are in comparison to the other two chicks that just walked up, and they're like,
How are you having fun if you're not destroying somebody else?
Literally, basically all of history, like, men have just been, like, mentally programmed that, like, you need to come together and fight wars and shit. So, like, when a man is randomly doing something that seems, like, half cool, other men are like, oh, shit, now I gotta go with them, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just,
dude,
like,
we don't
it's
have that in
literally-
today's day and age, so
It's literally like apes together strong. Like, it's, like,
Yeah.
instinctual, dude.
that's sick as hell, dude. God, dudes rule so fucking hard.
It wasn't chicks that built the Colosseum. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah. It wasn't chicks that smashed them up in the fucking.
A nearby address, it may dox us, it may not dox us. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that you learn driving the big road is that basically every city, every state, they all have like the same road names to a degree. Sometimes you'll get on like a rural road and they'll be like, "This is John Teeter fucking Boulevard" or something. It's like the guy who, yeah, like the guy who bought the property like named his own street, that kind of shit.
Based.
But by and large, a lot. I mean, across the country, like we share a lot of fucking street names and road names and shit.
Yeah.
A lot of them are historical too and stuff.
Yeah, how many
Like
fucking
Main-
MLKs are there?
MLK, Main Street,
Boulevard, Main Street, dude.
They're all bad.
it's everywhere.
Like
and the
Spring
numbers.
Street is a pretty common one.
Yeah. Numbered too, we got the
Yeah.
grid system here, so like you got to have the north south, or sorry, the east west numbered, and then the north south will be like, or sorry, other way around. North south will be numbered.
My goodness.
East west, it's like whatever the fucking names are,
I'll never
Everett,
forget-
fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Never
the
forget what-
first time, like the first time I worked in like New Hampshire, dude, I'm driving around with all these like in the suburbs area. There are so many streets in New Hampshire that are just like, so New Hampshire, if you've never been there, has all these like Revolutionary War statues and everything. Like
Sick.
it's the state is very big about, America fought the British, we're so cool, we kicked them out. Like New Hampshire is that, like, to the 11. It's been pumped up there.
Hell yeah.
But, like, there's so many other
Yeah.
streets that are literally named after, like, British kings. Like, it'll literally be, like, King George Street. Or,
Ugh.
like, King or something. Like,
Eckbert Road.
yeah, and I remember I was going around taking pictures of, like, I'm like, why do you guys make your, like, why does your state's culture is we kicked out the British, and then you named all your roads after, like, British kings. Like, there was
Yeah.
so many roads. I'm like, what is
That
wrong
could have been
here?
that could have been before we decided that we were better than them, and they were like, "Cool."
Well, we can't just change the street name.
We can't
Yeah,
change
after
it
the
now.
fact.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, come on.
I think they named the streets.
I don't
think
wanna
they
change
named the
my
streets
address,
before the
fuck.
revolution.
Queen
They were just like,
Elizabeth Boulevard.
"Actually,
There was legitimately like one or two streets I remember was like Queen Elizabeth, like fucking road or boulevard or something. I'm like, bro, what the hell, dude?
Queen Elizabeth Grove.
the Queef of England."
the
you
Queef of England.
Long live the Queef.
I'm sitting here like, bro, my ancestors didn't like friggin' 1v20 British motherfuckers in the street for the roads to
this.
name this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, our fucking ancestors invented guerrilla warfare just to get rid of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because,
And that rules.
yeah,
I
hell yeah.
freaking love that. They were like, hey, what if we just like don't stand out in the open in a line? And like that was absolutely just revolutionary thinking at the
It
time.
fucked them up.
No pun
They were like,
intended.
"Holy shit!
Oh, they jumped out of the trees and shot us.
Oi, they jumped out.
They jumped
in-
out of
in
the
their
fucking
box.
trees.
Blimey, they fucking skull fuck."
Oh, God save the
remember-
king there in the trees.
There was like a journal entry of like some dude that was part of like like American like guerrilla group, and it was like basically the journal entry was like they went and they were fighting the British, and like they found like the best shots, and like a lot of them were drunk. So at the when they were fighting the British, so they were hiding like in the woods, and the British people were going along the trail, and like these were the best shots, but they were also drunk, so they were missing half their shots. And what the British
And they
did
were
was
still the best.
they were yeah, so like the British, like they didn't get out of the trail or anything. They just started forming a line like right there in the middle of the trail with like their red suits in the middle of the woods. And like they're
Damn.
still and like all the Americans are just like drunk taking like trying to do marksman shots with their fucking muskets in the woods and shit.
The Brits assumed the fucking firing squad position at the people with guns.
Yeah. Well, like I think like one of the things was said that was like it would be obvious who the general was of like every little I don't know what you would call them at the time, but like a squad or something. So like the guerrilla groups would take them out.
Yeah.
And then like the underlings or like the foot soldiers, they wouldn't have a contingency plan for that. So they would either all they would know would be to line up next to everybody else. That's what I've been trained to do, or run away. And that's what they would do. Like they would all line up, and like the Americans are just like drunk in the bushes, like trying to reload muskets and just like marksmen shooting at them from like the woods.
Hey man, check out
So
this
tight.
360 no scope. Blimey, I missed. Let me try again.
Yeah, dude, it was like so hilarious to read because like it was like written in like older English, right? But basically, it was basically the
It's
dude
all
was
like
like
romantic. Like...
the dude was like, yeah, we were drunk and we like shot and we missed, and we were trying to reload as fast as we can while they were getting into like position, and then we shot, and we missed. And like they shot at us, but they didn't know where we were, so they like missed or like shot in the wrong direction. And then like our third volley, like we started killing them or something.
Damn.
And on the year of our Lord 1778, on our third volley, we finally had our collective
Yeah.
shit together. And the Jack Daniels were no longer swaying our aim together. We had our collective shots together, and we got at least 3 dudes.
No, like literally, like I remember, like the dude's journal entry basically said that they didn't hit anybody like the first 2 rounds of shots, but the British didn't know where to shoot either. we,
Could
It
you
was
just
just a fun
imagine being the British guy being like, I know, guys, there's these fucking redneck motherfuckers shooting at us. I can't see any of them because these fucking low-class peasants aren't in uniform.
Yeah.
What absolute fools! What, they're just shooting at us behind trees? What jackasses! If they keep doing that,
Yeah,
they'll
but-
hit us.
Form a line.
Yeah, if these fucking dumbasses keep just shooting at us behind hills and trees, they'll fucking hit us, dude. These dumbasses, we won't even know who shot us. That's so pathetic.
Yeah,
That's so gay.
like they were saying like they had like a lead marksman, which was like this farmer dude who was like really good with a musket, but he was like also drunk at the time.
Yeah,
So literally, like it said that he missed the first 2 shots, and you know it's a musket, so it's like a 1-minute reload time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like on the 3rd shot, like they're really good. The sniper dude they brought along was able to get like the fucking guy in charge of the British people there. And it was
Yeah, I figured he had the biggest hat. He must be in charge of the rest of the mates.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
like-
was like your badges of honor and shit was just like how big your fucking
And
hat
if it was embezzled with just some giant fucking gold coin, oh,
yeah, dude. They had
yeah,
those like
dude, it's like sticking a traffic cone on your
that
head.
must be the
They had, like-
sergeant.
they had like the big epaulets on their shoulders and shit. And, like you're just
Yeah.
drunk and you're like, dude, I think that's an important person, bro. And it takes you 3 minutes to shoot him.
you-
and you still get
Have
him.
you guys seen
You
the?
still can't-
Have you guys seen the Patriot?
I don't think
no.
so. No.
It's Mel Gibson.
Is that relatively new?
No, it's from like 2000 something. It's Mel Gibson and whoever played the Joker in The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger.
Queef Ledger.
Yeah, Queef Ledger.
Oh, we hit another Queef, fellas.
hey! Queef Ledger and Mel Gibson. Yeah, Mel Gibson goes to like fucking banter with like the English guy in charge at the time. They're all like cool. Anyways,
What?
They're all cool.
Go on.
Yeah. Anyways, they're all cool at the time, and the English guy's like, you guys are like disproportionately targeting our guys in charge. And Mel Gibson's like, well, mate, they're the guys, the best dressed. We just aiming where we. No, he's got an American accent in the movie, but anyway, it just says
It's funnier to do that though.
Hey,
That's-
mate, he's got the biggest hat and the brightest gold.
just bastardize them. That rules.
I know. Yeah, I know one accent. Anyways, yeah, the English guys are pissed. They're like, you can't just shoot our officers, and the Americans are like, why not?
Skill issue.
Yeah, skill issue. I believe that's on you, mate. Sucks to suck, mate.
Speaking of fucking historically inspired movies, what do you guys think about that Napoleon?
Oh man, I didn't see
You
the
got
trailer
fucking Joker.
I haven't watched.
Oh,
it
you didn't?
yet. No, dude.
It's. I don't think it's out
I've been
yet.
looking. No,
Oh,
no,
I don't
no.
think
It's
it's
just
out.
the trailer just
It's
came
like
out.
brand new. Dude, they got Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix
no,
fucking
they-
being Napoleon.
They
now.
announced it. They announced that a while ago. I haven't seen the trailer. I'm on the fence because it's like I can't remember if Napoleon was one of those French revolutionaries that was like thought that religion's gay and that we should have like a 10-day calendar that doesn't like notice Sunday. I can't remember if that was him.
I mean, he might have. I don't know. That was I mean, that's definitely not in the fucking.
I know
like-
that Assassin's Creed painted him as a good guy, so I'm thinking he might have been gay. If we're just doing
Yeah.
the math here, usually Assassin's Creed's like,
Yeah,
what if the
absolutely.
good
No, I know what
guys
you
were
mean.
actually the bad guys? And
That's one
vice
thing I was saying.
versa.
I told him the other day. I was like, I'm worried this might be a hit piece. Like they're gonna slip a scene in there of him like with this little like Egyptian young boy that he steals and like
yeah.
fucking
What if Napoleon?
fucks the crap out of him.
What if Napoleon actually was 5 foot tall and just fucking bussy the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, they do that shit. You know what I mean? They fucking put little gay shit in there.
And they're like, oh no,
To
oh
modernize it.
you like Napoleon? What if I told you he was fucking 15-year-old femboys the whole time?
Or like literally,
no
what if he
proof.
was gay?
We have no proof, but what if? Dude, they did.
Yeah,
They did it on
uh,
Assassin's Creed
the-
too. And the description for Da Vinci, like if you read his bio, it's like Da
Oh,
Vinci.
yeah.
Then in parentheses, he was like, who was most likely a homosexual, and then that's like the rest of his
Sons
bio.
fucking bitches. You
It's like
fucking
I
pieces of
I
shit.
swear, I'm not even making that up. That's literally how his bio reads in Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed 2. It's like Da Vinci, who's most likely a homosexual. Like, who asked you? How is that relevant? Also, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you,
What the
literally.
fuck,
That is
dude?
yeah, it's just to take people like us down a peg.
They're like, oh, you know,
They're like, "Oh yeah?
everyone you've ever like idolized, they're all gay.
LGTV.
Probably gay. I guarantee you. Mark my words, dude. Napoleon, he's going to have a little Egyptian love slave in the movie.
It's gonna be something, dude. They can't have just some guy rocking that much in the free world.
Napoleon's just going to be fucking some tight bussy in the
Not-
fucking movie when it comes out.
Yeah, they can't
Not
just.
gonna be
everyone
so
could be
gay.
not everyone could be Julius, Caesar getting some of that sweet, what was her name?
Clea,
Cleo.
Clea,
The gold. Yeah,
Clea
he called
Bussy?
her golden. It called her golden mouth, dude. He got like I remember
He
like
called her that?
he called her golden mouth because that's how good her blowjobs were. And then like there was a point where like he went on a 3-month pleasure, like he was like, yeah, Rome can take care of itself, and Cleopatra was like, yeah, Egypt can take care of itself, and they just like fucked on a ship for like 3 months.
dude.
Damn,
mean,
dude. That's some Nancy Reagan
you're
level
like-
fucking
When
shit.
you're like in charge, dude.
Throat goat.
When you're in charge, dude. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
no,
You can't just,
I
you
mean,
can't
and-
besmirch the man. Like what would you do? What would Julius
Well,
Caesar
like,
do?
A lot of what Julius Caesar wanted to do was to just go out and like conquer and kill the bad guys and shit. Like it was the Roman Senate that was mostly handling the stuff, so he didn't need to stay to lead it anyways. So he was just like, okay, I'm gonna get me some nice ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like so fucking into that bitch's Egyptian Greek puss that he was like, guys, I don't know. I think we should just move the capital to Egypt.
Yeah.
And then like the
He
Romans were
brought
like,
the kingdom.
yo,
to-
what the fuck? And then,
Yo, bro.
and then he was talking about he was hyping up this bitch's puss so much that when he died, his fucking right hand man, fucking Mark Anthony was like, hit up Cleopatra. He's like, yo,
He's like, hey,
I
what's up
I
with
was-
it though?
I heard you
The
do
story's
I
true.
heard you are a squeezer.
She's got the lips that grip.
Yeah, I heard you
Hey,
got some.
yo.
I heard you got that Greek grip.
Hey, yo, Cleo. I heard you got that shit that gripped the meat, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's literally what happened. And then fucking Julius's nephew was some Augustus. He was like a little chud, like they're fucking Egyptians. Rome has fallen. We need to defeat them. And then he,
Guys, I saw a Roman walking with an Egyptian the other day. The Rome
the
has
West
fallen.
has fallen. Yeah, but he won. Him and his, well, actually, more like
Millions must come.
Agrippa won, and Augustus was just the guy above Agrippa.
Why do you think they called him Agrippa?
Yeah, Agrippa was like his main fucking man.
Ponder
dude.
that, if you will.
That was his admiral, because Augustus didn't know shit about fighting on boats, and Egypt had a respectable navy at the time. And Agrippa was like, all I know is navy, and just completely.
Of course, dude. His name's Agrippa.
Yeah.
He's in the Navy. Dude was probably gay as
He's
hell.
like, yeah.
This is non-revisionist history.
He's like, fighting on land, not my thing. I leave that for the jocks.
Well, dude, my favorite thing was like if you look at like Roman naval combat, it was literally just forcing it to be basically land combat. Like they would basically just go up to the other enemy's boats and like put hooks into their boats and pull the boats together and just like kill them with swords. Like the Romans were like, you know what, naval combat sounds too hard, so we're just not gonna do it.
Yeah. I mean, that rule is just boarding.
Our slaves are too retarded to make like tight maneuvers. What if we just had like ladders with hooks at the end and we just boarded them and then we just charged infantry every time?
Basically.
Every time. And then like we have like some guys with like fire arrows, I guess.
Yeah, that was an insane technological advancement.
You're on fire, haha.
Like, holy shit.
And then like they try to put out
Like
with
oil.
water and it just spills more fire. They're like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Why is this fire not going out? I put water on it. It just spread. They're like, surely the gods want us to die. We were wrong. They were right. I give up. And then they just die.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, these motherfuckers don't know nothing about olive oil.
Dude, that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. You're like, okay, we're in the water. This is what it is. Like,
The last thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna be lit on fire.
yeah.
We're
Or like,
in the water.
you actually think that the enemy. You're like, okay, of course they have to fight naval combat with naval combat. And then one guy, this dude probably thought he was a genius. He's like, what if we just didn't do that, dude? What if we just did the same thing we keep doing in the
It's
water?
because like the Romans lost like 2 naval battles and they're like, fuck this shit, dude. Just check this out.
We can't do it.
I invented this thing. It's called ladder with hooks. We just put it on the side of our boat. We run up to their boat. We latch it, and then we just charge infantry. All those guys are navy and slaves. They don't know how to sword fight. Easy win.
Easy.
They know how to steer boat. They know how to change sail. They don't know how to sword fight. We have shields and swords.
Yo, bro, Egyptians born after 32 don't know how to sail.
All they
Don't know
know,
naval combat. All they know is sharpen their sword.
grind
fucking-
chickpeas, make hummus, build
Nile-
And lie.
they pyramids.
Build they pyramids, drink from Nile River, and lie.
Dude, imagine the Nile River shits, dude. Like if you came up on that. Hey, have you guys ever drank like bad water actually?
Bad water?
Yeah, like non-potable water or just like water that's not like treated to the level that we're used to now. All I'm saying is have you ever, like for example, like if you went down to Mexico and drank the water, you would have incorrigible diarrhea. Like, it would be impossible. All I'm asking is, have you guys ever drank water that was substandard for the way our guts are now?
I don't think so. Like I've had like I drink from the hose water, but I've never had water like that bad.
Yeah, that was tainted. Yeah, I have, and there's dude, like it's almost an instant fucking it's almost instant and definitely guaranteed diarrhea.
Damn.
That I think that's something we take for granted now. Is like we just don't even have to worry about like absolutely urgent and immediate diarrhea from water sources anymore.
Yeah, that's just
like,
not
we
an
got,
American problem at all.
Yeah, we got out. We not only got out of the food chain, but we got out of like hazards like that.
Yeah,
Which is insane, by the way, from experience. Like, it is quick. It's quick.
where the fuck did you have bad water?
I don't know. It was here. It wasn't like I went down to Mexico and drank from a fucking source that was clean.
Dude, you know what's funny about that is,
but-
well, I'm a big Elvis Presley fan. He has got this one movie that takes place in Mexico, and the big theme song of that movie is called Mexico, and the whole song's about how awesome Mexico is, but they still had to throw in
Except
one
for water.
line. He had to throw in one line where he's like, don't you drink the water when you're south of the
Yeah.
border. And they just throw that in.
Yeah.
And like they
If you
don't
drink
they
water that
don't
has a
reflect on
bacteria-
that. They don't reflect on that. They just throw that in the middle of the song. It just
Refuses to elaborate.
Yeah, don't
leaves,
drink the
Yeah.
water when you're south
Gets
of
fat.
the border.
Leaves.
Dude, I'll never forget the time, dude. I was like freshman year of high school, and I was in like advanced biology, and my my biology teacher, she was like, dude, and she was like brown too, right? And she was like she was
Cool.
really chill. She was definitely like not like a racist person.
What kind of brown?
For-
just so I can picture.
No, like probably more of like an Italian brown. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Okay.
but she was yeah, so she was like but she was like a really unassuming, like wasn't really like a racist person or anything. But there was one point just out of nowhere, and she never said anything like this again, where she was talking about like water and stuff and the effect on the body, and she just starts talking about, she's like, yeah, so the water in Mexico has AIDS, and if you go to Mexico and drink the water, you're going to get AIDS. And she's like, that's why if you go to Mexico, like so many of the Mexicans, they've drinking this AIDS water, but they drank it so young that they're like somewhat resistant to AIDS.
They're
but like
immune.
all the Mexicans have AIDS or something. Like she was basically like, oh yeah, all the Mexicans have AIDS. Like,
Wait, this was
she
in
wasn't-
school?
This was in my high school, like, and she wasn't
Damn.
even saying it like,
Damn,
like
that
she wasn't
ruled. This
trying to
chick
sound
rules.
like, yeah, dude, she wasn't trying to sound mean, and she never said anything along those lines again. Like it was just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, the Mexicans have AIDS, and I'm just like, what the?
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just.
This was
I'm in
something
the
she
middle
heard
of-
someone else say, and it's like she just repeated it. She
Yeah,
was like,
that makes
"That's an
sense.
absolute fact." Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why they're. Never mind.
Yes.
Go on.
That's funny as hell.
I was surprised. I'm like, damn, like I was out of nowhere too. She never said anything like.
At the time,
race-wise.
At the time,
What?
did you pick that up as like completely ridiculous at the time, or were you like, okay,
ju-
sure?
I just thought it was funny. Like I didn't know if it was like true or not, because this is my advanced biology teacher telling me like the effects of water from another country, and I have no idea, dude. And I just remember like I went home to my parents. Like first thing I'm telling them was like, yeah, my biology teacher told me that all the Mexicans have AIDS, and
Oh fuck!
and like I explained like what she told me, and they were just like they just went and just just shook their heads, and like we never talked about it again.
Damn.
And it's one of those core memories because it was so weird and out of nowhere that will always be with me.
Damn. Yeah, she must have had a taste for AIDS. She went down there. She took one sip. She was like, "Yep, that's AIDS for sure."
That's AIDS, bro.
Oh, she came back, got
Yep,
diagnosed.
that's AIDS. I'm
Oh,
gonna go
you
tell
know
my
what?
children that.
I didn't do anything wrong. It must just be in the water. They all have AIDS. In fact,
They all.
It's not
have
my
the
fault.
AIDS.
Yeah, this was like a elaborate ploy to like kind of come out as AIDS
anyways,
positive.
I have AIDS.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's a good way to do it, to like indoctrinate the youth, and then your AIDS is normal when they become like the middle class eventually.
I went there. I went there for a lesson. came back. I have AIDS. They must just
have
all have AIDS. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They just all.
It's probably the water because I did nothing.
All I did was drink the water. And the
I did not
fucking
have unprotected sex with those
the
Mexicans.
fucking 12 dudes that I fucked
I did not have unprotected sex with those Mexicans.
with those 12 man.
Simultaneously.
When I
Fuck.
signed up for a
Hey,
full burrito, they did not tell me that there would be AIDS involved.
Damn,
my
that's tough as nails.
my my wife is Mexican, and when we're going over to family stuff, I always ask her like,
You gotta look out for AIDS.
I always ask her like,
You guys don't have AIDS, right?
I
There's
ask
no
her
AIDS in this fucking
who's
Modelo.
all gonna be there, and I'm like, is it immediate family or the full burrito?
Or the AIDS guys.
The full
I was like, I
burrito.
always ask, is it gonna be the full burrito or just the parents? It's usually the full burrito, and I'm like, okay,
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna have to get
Very
I'm gonna
family-
have to get drunk. I don't speak Spanish, and I am already socially retarded before that. But
Yeah.
the thing about Mexicans is
Gotta
that they love getting gringos drunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's,
Dude,
it's
oh
a
my
cultural thing,
gosh.
dude. They're like, if I have a
It-
empty Modelo next to me, they like glare at my wife.
They get him another.
Yeah, literally, they
It's
give her
probably
like
it's probably more that
they give her a
than,
nasty
like
look,
getting you
and
drunk.
she's like, she looks all surprised, gets up and brings me a beer, and I'm like, yeah, it's more like it. Fuck.
Yeah, it's probably like the whole like female like servitude attitude. Then like we need to get this white boy drunk.
Well, I think it's a little
They're
bit of
probably
I
like,
think it's a little
"You're
bit of
slacking."
both, because I remember we went to some Christmas party, and I did get a little toasted. I barely remember leaving, and the Weefe was a little upset.
I bet
with
she
me.
loved that. By the way.
Nope. The next day, her mom was like, "Oh, that was so nice to see your husband get drunk. It's like we know him so much better now." And I was like,
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah. You
Dude, I
see
was
it?
making.
They know what's
I
up.
was making.
It's
I was
just
having,
you.
I was heard somebody was it's just you. I was heard someone making a joke before. They're like, dude, they're like, if you're gonna get drunk with a white person. They're like, dude, I got drunk with a black person, and they just complained the whole time about like their 3 baby mamas or something. Like, you get drunk with a white person, they start being funny. Like, you get drunk with anybody else, and it's like sad or something.
Dude, I think that's like a.
Who's that comedian?
It's a Dave
There's a
Chappelle
comedian
joke.
that does a bit.
It's a Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, he
He's like,
says that
he's like,
I've
black
heard that.
people
I
like
gotta
talk
stop.
about their problems, but white people talk about just other times they got high.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta stop
Yeah, there's
smoking
times
weed
they
with
got
black people. They just talk about their trials and tribulations. White guys
Yeah.
just talk about other times they got high.
Yeah, I think that's on Killing Them Softly.
Yeah, dude, that
which
shit
is just,
rules,
By
dude.
the way, one of the best fucking specials.
Yeah,
of
that
all
shit
time.
rules, dude.
Killing Them Softly, and for what it's worth, Dave Chappelle, obvious,
Dude,
actual god.
Dude,
like,
Dave Chappelle's a man. Come on.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even
dude,
now,
he's awesome.
even though now he's kind of like very preachy, like he's still every now and then he'll show a little bit of his old self here and there. He'll do a funny white guy voice or something, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
fucking trans joke he had about like being born into like he's like a Chinese man at heart.
Yeah.
That shit fucking
wasn't
ruled. He's like, what? You don't think that's funny? He's like, oh no, but this is how I feel on the inside. Dude, that shit
Oh my
fucking ruled, dude. That's
Yeah, dude.
that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, with that freaking thing. So, like, I work in, like, a restaurant, right? And literally, there's, like, one other white dude at the restaurant, and everybody else is Mexican. And I'm not talking, like, oh, they're a quarter Mexican or anything. I'm talking, like, literally everybody I work with, basically, was, like, born in Mexico and then just immigrated to, like, the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, they're all full-on Mexican. Because I think, like, basically, like, it's headcanon for me. Like, 1 or 2 of them got a job there. And they just told like a bunch of the other Mexicans that you can work here,
It networked.
and like
Yeah, like they don't
Yeah,
check
well-
anything, dude. Come on. Like,
they actually where I work, like it's not a bad place, but they don't do like background checks or anything. Like
yeah. It's
'Cause
it's
normally when
becoming
you-
more and more common, I think.
like yeah, like normally when you work at a place, I remember because like when I worked, I worked a couple of months when I first moved out to the Midwest, like a job to hold me over till I got something else. Like worked some job at like some ski resort, and
Sick.
like I
You
remember when I
ski?
got. I do not ski, no, but
You bored? Anything? Like
no,
no mountain?
like I
Okay.
no, but I got there and I remember I was like showing up for the job, and they were like, "Oh, you need to give us like we need certain amounts of proof. Like we want to see your driver's license, your birth certificate, all this and that." And then later when I started working at that like one restaurant with all the Mexicans, they just asked me for my social security number. They didn't even ask me for a card to prove that it was my social security. They just go like the lady was just like, "Can do you know your social security number off your top of your head?" Like, yeah. Okay, that's all I need. Like she didn't ask for proof that I was like myself or anything. She was like, "You got a social security number, bro?"
And you just said yes, or did you show it to her?
Well, I had it memorized and I just told her and like she wrote it down on like a fucking napkin and
Oh,
then she
okay.
hired me.
And that was that. Cool.
Yeah,
Probably
dude.
threw it away.
Dude, that's like some government, like, in case they ever crack down on us, we can say, well, he gave us the number.
Yeah.
It's not our fault.
Yeah, like no, but I remember like but our district manager is this like white dude and he's like in his 50s, like he's in charge of like all the restaurants. And I remember one time he came over and he was telling us, so the lady that runs my restaurant, like the general manager, she's like this like big booty Latina MILF lady. And
Based.
she like all the what is all the stereotypes about like Latino women is basically her, dude. Like she just hits them all on the nail, right? Like
Insane.
she's okay, so for
Chop
the
your balls
most
off. Insane.
if so like I work for her, right? And she's like she's like really nice to me, right? For the
No, you're
most
good,
part.
dude.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I work really hard, and I just like if you're doing your best to like do your job and like not make anything hard for her and not get in her way, then she'll be chill. But also I've seen her, she's never flipped out on me, dude. But I've seen her like flip out on like other people that were basically just about to quit. That were like just like, dude, I'm not gonna come into work, or like there was like a dude who texted her was like, um, he was like literally about to quit, but he like called in sick for a few days before he quit. And she's like, well, you
That's the
can't just
move.
keep calling in sick. And he responded with, shut your fucking mouth or something. Like he
Oh,
said that to his,
you don't say that.
like,
Oh, that's just
yeah, dude.
rude.
I just remember her calling him, dude. Like I can hear her in the back office, dude. And like it was in Spanish, but you could tell, dude, she was going scorched earth, bro. And I'm just
Yeah, you can feel the
like,
vitriol.
yeah, dude.
Tonto
Like
cochina!
if you, dude, like if you're
Oh,
trying your
barros.
best, dude, if you're trying your best, like if you're trying your best, she will be patient with you. But if you're not, she will murder you. And it's just like,
Based.
That sounds about right. That's.
Yeah.
I
oh
mean, could
my
you
god.
imagine if the guy was in a relationship with her? She would have gone home, chopped his bird off, and thrown it in the garbage disposal. Probably.
Well, I don't know.
I
I
wouldn't
feel
be
like
surprised.
you can kind of like if you just try a little harder than them, they're like predisposed to submit, but like only if you're putting it out there that they're the ones that should submit. If you're like even slightly
Just
passive,
raise your voice a little bit. Just
then it's then like their instincts kick in. They're like, oh, sorry,
okay.
conquistador.
They don't want the smoke. They don't want that.
They
smoke.
don't want the
The
smoke,
white
dude.
conquistador.
Dude.
Like-
I'm something of a conquistador myself.
Yeah, basically. No, but like, and I remember too, like, so there was one point where, so I got promoted like a couple weeks ago. I was basically a manager or like a shift lead or whatever, but I didn't actually have the promotion until they were able to set up like a certain time for me to do my test. So I did it and I passed it with flying colors. And they actually said that I did the district manager literally said, and I was so proud about this. He was like, that was the best like demonstration of everything in the kitchen and everything like I've seen in 6 years. And I'm
Damn.
just like, I felt so. And literally too, here's what happened, because they give you like this packet that you need to like memorize. I kid you not, I didn't attempt to memorize it until the night before. Like I didn't do any studying for my test until the night before. And then I remember I just did like some like caffeine and shit. and I was just going hard at, like, I was literally like going college boy level at this shit. Like, oh, here's the night before, better actually start practicing. And I thought I was gonna do really bad, and I came in and I did like the best in 6 years. I'm just like, okay. I didn't have the heart to tell him too, because he was all like, I could tell you've been he's like this white dude. He's like, I tell you. He's like, yeah, you go, slugger. I could tell you've been practicing for like at least the past week pretty hard. And I'm just sitting there like, I have like literally 2 hours of sleep in me. I've taken like an energy drink. It's starting to wear off, and I'm just like, yeah, man.
Yeah, gee, I guess I rule.
Anything for the company, bro. And so. No, but I
Hell yeah.
remember too. So after I got the lead, right, and they're short on leads, they're short on managers and stuff. Like the general manager lady, like she came, this Mexican lady, and she's joking. This is how she jokes, but she was joking, and she's like, she's like, you are a manager now, and she's like, we're basically married now. You're with me forever. And then she starts like, she does it, dude. I swear she doesn't know memes. But have you guys seen that one meme that's gone around where it's like the Shark Girl VTuber, and she's like, together forever. Together forever.
No.
No, not off the top of my head. I know about
okay.
VTube though.
So there's like there's this one meme where this Shark Girl VTuber, and she's like,
So she's a shark. She's like an anime shark.
She's like this anime shark girl. She looks mostly like a girl, but you could see her little like shark tail behind her.
What the fuck?
And she has like. And, like, every chick that has anything to do with, like, anime or something, obviously she's got all her fucking teeth pointy and shit. But, I don't really...
Okay.
I know, after I made my page and it got big, like, I know a couple of VTubers and, like, they're chill. But for the most part, like, I'm not into VTubing. Like, I don't watch it. I don't do anything with it.
Good.
But,
good. And if this alienates listeners, good. Do better. Get the fuck off that shit, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, okay. Any VTubers I know are totally cool. Like, there's some, like, I don't watch them, but there's, like, some VTubers out there that, like, they look really fucking weird, dude, and I'm just like, oh my god. But, what I'm trying to think of, there's a meme where, like, somebody, when you, like, doing the live stream and somebody donates, it, like, reads their message out loud?
Yeah.
Like, somebody donated to her and said, like, hey, look, I found, like, another VTuber girl or something, I'm breaking up with you. And, like, she just stops playing, and she just looks straight at, like, the camera or whatever, and it zooms in on her face. And she's like, no, we're together forever. And she just keeps repeating that, together forever, like in a demonic voice or something.
Oh, what the
fuck? and my boss, like, starts doing that to me. She's like, we are basically married now, you and I. And she's like, we're together forever. This is like,
She said she was big booty Latina. You weren't into it, though?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was, but she's like, she looks really good. She looks young for her age, but she's definitely at least like mid 40s at best. Like, I think she has like, no, legitimately, she is the big booty MILF Latina, bro. Like,
oh my god, dude, this dude is trying to get us hard, dude. What the hell is this?
But
it's a honeypot.
Dude, she's like, together forever. Together, like, we're gonna be married now, together forever. That's just how
that's
she
the
chose.
dream. That's
no,
you're
but
like
my
watch. This guy's gonna fucking be like, gotcha, dude. Like, he's a fed the whole time, and he's a fed the whole time, just trying to get me hard. Like, I knew it. True.
It's no, but to bring it back to what you were saying about like the so that's how she is though.
I don't even know what we were saying.
No, but like
I'm enthralled.
Like the Mexicans and the Latinas and Latinos want like white people drinking, dude. Like my district manager came over and he was like, we were working one morning, and he was telling me that like one time, I don't know what the context was, but one time like him and like my boss and like a bunch of other people from my restaurant were all at this one party together, and like. And he was basically, he's like, dude, he was like, the party was mostly Mexicans. They just kept handing me tequila. If I ever had an empty like glass or something, they gave me more tequila.
Yeah.
And he's like, all the Mexicans would nonstop drink tequila, and they wouldn't let you not like drink tequila. And he's like, we got so drunk. He's telling me, he's like, I was spinning this like lady out on the dance floor or whatever. And he's like, I was drunk. So they were doing the thing where like, she leans back and he's holding her hand or something.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But instead he just
movie dance move.
Couple. Yeah, but instead he just let her go and she went flying. And like,
oh,
smacked into a wall or something.
Oh, sorry.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and he was basically just like, he was like, dude, I was drunk, I didn't know what happened, so I just basically went over to her like, you're fine.
That's
I
what you
just
got to do.
like-
It's like a child. You got to be like, you're okay. Like, kind of laugh. Like, that's funny, right?
Oh,
And they're like,
buenas gracias.
yeah.
So, bro, you have this plan on Friday. Most people will probably be hearing this
And
on
we're back,
Friday.
by the way. Hit a quick break. We're back now.
Okay, why don't you go?
Oh no, you were
No,
on fire.
you
dude.
want to
My bad.
talk? Apparently, you want. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I just thought you were going to address the
friends.
clear gap
We're
in the
we're
fucking
friends,
audio.
not rivals, not obvious rivals. We're totally friends. Anyways, dude.
Sorry,
Anyways.
Lip, bro.
So, my friend, you have this plan on Friday, which is when most people are probably hearing these words right now. You are gonna do a 24-hour stream for charity. You want to plug what the charity's for, where you got the idea, what games you're gonna play. You got the absolute floor.
Yep. So essentially, the charity, it's gonna last for 24 hours. I didn't learn this till after I set everything up. Facebook only lets you live stream for 8 hours at a time, so we're just gonna do three 8-hour live streams next to each other. Like, just
Oh,
there
shit.
won't be any downtime. Like, it'll immediately end, and I'll start another one. But I'm gonna live stream for 24 consecutive hours. Where basically I got 4 games coming up. I'm going to be playing Starship Troopers Extermination, the new one that came out. We're going to be playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the new one that came out. We're going to be playing Jackbox, which the great thing about Jackbox is as long as you have a phone, you don't need the game. You can join, you can play. And we're also going to be playing
So you can
Among
get
Us.
people involved? Could you
Yeah.
get watchers involved with that?
Yeah, like literally everybody watching the stream can just play the game with us.
That's sick. That's actually sick as hell.
Do you have any open confirmed
Spots-
slots?
So there's basically, it's going to be, because I'm not going to absolutely give anybody like a protected slot because I don't know who's actually going to show up. But like
Yeah.
anybody who does show up, it's going to be like, okay, here's what we're playing right now. You want to join, you can join. We're going to be playing, like I said, Starship Troopers. We're going to be playing Call of Duty. And we're also like, we're going to screw around on these games and we're going to have some serious fun. Like it's, and basically it's going to be live streamed onto my Facebook page. He's literally me, bro. It's pretty easy to find me if you look that up, you're gonna see like a picture of Patrick Bateman. It's gonna say the words like, "Oh, we have a charity stream," and it's gonna start at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's American Midwest time. It's gonna start at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday, and it's going to go until 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday. And it's gonna, like I said, 24 hours straight. Just trying to make some money for children's hospitals. There's gonna be a link in the description.
Yes, there will be.
Yeah, there's gonna be a link in this. There's gonna be a link in the description when you're watching the live stream for Golisano Children's Hospital. Well, no, it's gonna be for a place called Extra Life, and Extra Life, I've used them before. They're totally legit. All the donations, I get to pick where it goes. All the donations are going straight to Golisano Children's Hospitals. I don't see any of the money. Nothing comes to me, right? So you don't even have to trust me. But all the money goes straight to the Golisano Children's Hospitals. They help kids that have like really bad things, terminal things, or if they have cancer or something, it helps gets kids chemo. So we're gonna be, and it's gonna be just like, we're just gonna have fun doing it, right? And we're just gonna try to raise some money. The goal is we want to hit $1,000. So we're gonna see what we can do, and it's just gonna be a great time. I can't wait to just kind of get everybody together and just have some fun with it.
Yeah, you guys can bet the Queefy Blinders will be popping in and out throughout the night.
I think we can hit 1K.
Oh yeah, I think we can hit 1K. Like I've literally talked to I've been hyping this up. So what was originally concerning me was Facebook completely, like a week or two before the charity stream, just killed my reach. But thankfully I have, since my page got as big as it did, I've made a lot of like friends and connections. Like I literally have all the, like a bunch of big people like Smug Response, Niche Gamer, they literally have like a whole news website, right? Smug Response, Niche Gamer, Doge Dad, like all the people, these big followings, and a lot of other pages. They're all like, we're literally just gonna share the crap out of this. We're gonna tell everybody. All the discords with like all the communities and their places are just gonna tell everybody. And I really do think we can hit 1,000, despite Zucks and the small hat long nose tribes.
Yeah, we're gonna overcome the fucking technocrats on this.
Yeah,
guys.
despite their best attempts
Hell yeah.
to limit our reach, we're actually really gonna. I really do think it's gonna do pretty good.
And this is the true, by the way, libertarian way to affect change. This is the only way as a libertarian you can affect change, really.
Some fucking guy at Facebook's like, oh, they're trying to raise money for the children. Oh, cripple his reach. And I don't know. That's just a random accent I chose. That's
Has nothing to do with anything, obviously.
That's not necessarily what he sounds like. He
It's
could
a
be like,
nondescript
hey, yo, man,
accent.
this motherfucker trying to raise money for children. Fuck his reach.
And that's an offensive Asian accent. We're not going to do stuff like that.
Kind of sounded Irish to me.
A little Irish in there, I heard, for sure. So you told us 3 of the games you're going to play. After Jackbox, I think you left a 4th off there, didn't you?
I don't.
Was
You
there a
might not
4th?
have heard it. So it was Among Us. So we have Among
okay.
Us.
I didn't catch
Among
that.
Us, Jackbox, Call of Duty, and Starship Troopers.
So if you guys are lucky enough, you can get into the actual game if you're fucking on it and you're about helping people.
Yeah. So it's like
Probably not,
you
but
can
yeah.
you can like join the games, right? So like Starship Troopers is literally like a 16 player, like you're all on the same team game. You just fight bugs. And dude, I'm just so hoping that literally like I have like a pipe dream where we can get, because instead of playing with 16 randoms, we literally have 16 people like coordinated all together playing that game, and we're just gonna freaking.
Do you have a schedule?
No, we're gonna play it by ear because I actually have
Cool.
jumped around like a few schedules. The only problem is
see.
it would be the first few hours would be too competitive for what we're going to play first.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
Gotcha.
so Modern Warfare 2 is cross-plat. Among Us, that's cross-plat, right?
yeah, so Among Us you can even play on your phone. Like you can play with people on PC on your phone. But
I was gonna say, who knows, dude? Maybe we get the Queefies in a game or two. Hey, I know you probably got an itinerary for who and what is gonna play what, but if they could squeeze us in, whatever, maybe, we'll try. I know I'll be
Yes.
available tomorrow.
Just mentioning, yeah. I don't think my shit could run New Modern Warfare 2, but
but it's cross-play, and you have an X1, right?
no. I mean, well, yeah, but like this shit's gonna
Is it
look like
cross-play?
dog
Am I
shit.
wrong? Am I completely
I
retarded
don't.
right
Even
now?
if it
no,
is, dude.
Call of Duty is cross-platform. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they find
Even if
it
it
out
is, dude,
sometimes.
it's gonna run like shit on my console. I'd rather just be in the chat queefing it up.
Cool. Yeah, you do that. Maybe I'll get in.
Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
not
We'll
gonna
keep
lie.
in
Like,
contact on
unless
Discord.
you have like a good game. Yeah, unless you have like a good gaming PC or like a PS5 or like whatever the heck the new Xbox is. Like,
I have
it
both.
is gonna,
So
Okay, it is gonna kind of chug. Like if you have the last, you can technically play it on the older generation
yeah,
consoles,
true.
but like
He's gonna be running 30 FPS, and that's a nightmare. Fuck that.
it's gonna be like 30 FPS with like PS2 graphics. It's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what-
I do have the Series X and the PS5 though, so I'll download a couple of those, And if you can squeeze us in, whatever, cool. Maybe I'll have
Yeah, I
God
really
Emperor
do
over
think
here.
I'll be able to squeeze like just about everybody in at some point, and it's really gonna be great.
It's a long
so-
span of time. It's a long stream, so
Yeah, for
Yeah, no, that's
us,
what I'm
that's gonna
saying.
start at 6.
I bet you'll
So
have plenty. Yeah, 6 our time, by the way, so that's gonna be 9 o'clock Eastern time, I believe.
where the
Yeah,
fuck's that
and
stuff?
To
Yeah,
9
that's
the
like-
next day, or 6 the next day if you're on the west or the east coast.
Yeah, and that's why it's 24 hours too. So like if you can't get on the first night, you literally have like almost all of next day to like join in at some point. It's like okay,
Into the
no,
wee hours. Now let me ask you this: how do you plan on staying awake all this time?
Well, I've done this before, and actually, as long as like you keep doing things, like you'll feel like the fatigue, but as long as you keep doing things, if you're doing like a 24-hour like event on your PC, at the very least for me, I can just keep going, and it's that simple. I've
Keep
in
mind
the
occupied,
past,
keep going.
yeah, in the
These
past,
are the words of a 23-year-old.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
True,
20.
also.
I
But
have
hey,
to. Yeah,
we're
I
not
have to add that
disparaging him.
context. Yeah, dude, I'm 23. I have to add that context. I'm college age.
We
You
But
can't
still
do
got
that
it. You
shit.
still got the natural energy. We don't.
We're
Both of
we're
us are
geezed
late
up,
20s,
dude.
30s.
I'd be like, oh, this guy's on coke, but you're young.
yeah, no. So like, I'll probably have like maybe an emergency like C4 or 5 hour energy. You know, if I need to get for like the last bit through.
Nice. You like the
But
C4s?
yeah, but
You ever
like
tried the ghosts?
no.
Oh man,
I
you
know
should try 'em.
I've done because I hit the gym a lot. I have my pre-workout is like a cheap like Ghost pre-workout that you
Yeah,
mix in.
yeah. They got powders.
Yeah, I do the
They
powder
do?
stuff.
The fuck?
I've never done like your drinks. Yeah.
I didn't know
The
that.
drinks
That's
are good. It's all
badass.
they pretty much energy drinks now are just like pre-workout in a can.
Yeah, no, legitimately, dude. I hit a C4 and it feels like I just took like a pre-workout. But no, like I'll have like a C4 in case I need it, right? I'm probably just gonna food prep. Like I'll have some like pasta or something cooked, right? And
Yep.
so if I get like hungry, like I'll have like a Tupperware of pasta and just like no, like you know, while I'm waiting for like people to join up in a lobby or something, might take like a few quick bites. You know, I'll have like my water and everything. And like I told everybody, like if it's like 3 hours left, you know, we're making good money for charity, like we're at least at 700 or 800. I told him, I said, all right, you know, we're gonna make it a drinking stream, and we're just gonna have fun, and I'm just gonna be crunk. And
Yeah, boys. All right, we got to get him to his goal because that's the stream I want. That's the fucking stream we need.
I went to like liquor store today, and I got me some of the fun adult liquids while I was there. So I'm just like, if we do good, you know, we'll get this sort of stuff going. So, and I can be funny, you know, when I drink. So it's just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But we have to make some money for charity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what drove you to get this charity stream going? Is it the
Well,
libertarian in you wanting to
no,
affect
so
change?
I've done this sort of charity stream before in the past. Generally, um, I haven't done it in the past couple of years because I remember I did it for about like 2 3 years in a row. It's been a while, but it's 2 years in a row I did it during the summer and with my buddy, and he was like a Twitch streamer, and I would go on, and I didn't really have a like a Twitch of myself, but we set it up where I could also live stream with him, and I people could see my screen as well, like they could flip back on their own, and we would both be playing for 24/7, and we would do our own thing. So I've done the charity stream before,
Yep.
and I just thought it was pretty cool. And then I remember one year, like I had it coming up, and I went through like a really bad breakup right before it happened, and I just didn't do it again for yeah, and I just didn't do it again for a few years. You know, I was like, I had a charity stream coming up, I was doing it on my own. You know, the other streamer guy wasn't there, and I just said, you know, I'm just gonna figure out a way to do it on my own. And I went through a bad breakup, and I didn't have the mental faculty to do a 24-hour live stream at that point, and I just
Yeah,
didn't.
understandable. I mean,
And,
Yeah.
Jesus, nothing will fucking ruin a man like a fucking woman.
yeah, and then so for like the last 2 or 3 years, I just like after I didn't do it one year, I just didn't do it again. You know, because I only did it a couple times, and then like this year, I remember I made this page, and I made this page as a joke, but then all of a sudden it's blowing up, and I'm getting, you know, like right now, just sort of like I'm shadow banned, so I get like no reach, but like just sort of like 20K followers in half a year, right? It just went crazy, and so I was sitting there, but this was earlier on. I was probably around like maybe to 3 to 5K, but I knew that like okay, this is climbing fast. You know, it would be cool if I did something. So I like just randomly, spur of the moment, I made a post. I'm like, it'd be pretty cool if at some point, me and some other pages did if like me and some other pages did a charity event, ha ha ha. And another guy, and I had no like actual plan or anything in place. I just was throwing it out there. Another page just like almost immediately respond like, yeah, dude, we're gonna do it, yeah, like he was like super into it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I remember like I would talk about it every once in a while, and I think another page commission artist, she came to me and she was like, I wanted to do a charity, but like, you know, nobody listened to me when I wanted to do it, so like I'm really happy that like you have like people listening to you that you're gonna try to do it. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And it was just like a bunch of basically I just threw it out there as a thing, and a ton of other pages just essentially said, okay, well, we're gonna support you. We really want you to see, and like I'm doing it now, sort of thing. And I guess I'm gonna try it again. So, and as the deadline came up, right, I got some of my art commission friends were making made some like art for the charity stream, and they're all saying like, well, we're going to support you, right? All the big pages are going to share it, right? I'm just sitting there like, okay, we're going to do our best. We're going to see what happens. Like, I have, because my page reach is demolished, and because I've never done anything like this on this page before, I have literally zero idea of how this is going to pan out at all. I have no idea. And I'm just like, we got to try it anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I could make $12 for charity, or I could make like $1,000 for charity. I have no idea. So that's how it's going to go.
That's cool. I mean, that rules. So it sounds like this is like mainly out of the good, like maybe you had a little bit of a trying to be a recurring or annual kind of thing, but
yeah, like years ago, like when I was like 18, 19, I was doing it, and I went through like between 19 and 20, I went through like a bad breakup, and then I just didn't
I know
do it
how
for
it is,
last,
brother.
yeah, for like the last
brother,
3
it's
years.
tough.
And I was even saying too, like, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I'm like, dude, yeah, if this one does good, like, I got another charity event picked out for next year. I'm like, we'll do like drunk Minecraft for like veterans or some shit. But I gotta take it one thing. Yeah.
That sounds insane.
This just sounds like a random combination of fucking words.
Like there's like it's like a freaking dartboard, right? And there's a bunch of piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to pick what game you're playing, and then you have to pick what you're doing while you're playing.
Yeah, it's like the South Park where they're mocking Family Guy, and they're like, it's a bunch of manatees rolling the fucking
Random
bingo
balls.
wheel.
Muhammad buying lemonade.
No, but Minecraft.
But yeah,
Dude,
Minecraft drunk
Minecraft
for veterans.
That sounds so awesome, dude.
And that's base, dude. I'd watch that.
Dude, I'd fucking, yeah. I might join the army and get back quick just to be a part of that.
Well, dude,
Get back quick. They're like, dude,
no.
you signed an 8-year contract. You can't go back and play Minecraft yet.
Can't go back and play No,
Not yet.
It would be like the charity would be for veterans, but like it wouldn't be.
Oh, not veterans playing.
Yeah, it's not veterans. I mean, obviously, like probably like a veterans could join, but it's not specific. It would be like for,
yeah, because that's maybe you should put that in your back pocket because that sounds. Get some drunk veterans.
Hey, maybe next summer. Hey.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm like, all right, next summer. But I have to, like I said, dude, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I have no idea how this one is going to pan out. Dude, it's like,
yeah. Good thing is that it's for charity, so whatever you do, you will do some good, and that is extremely based, and we need more of that in the world, frankly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, dude, I gave $5 to some guy I knew that was just gonna buy a Four Loko outside of my 7-Eleven, and I felt pretty good.
That's the libertarian way.
That's charity right there. That's based.
Voluntarism.
Voluntary. Yeah, exactly.
This is way better.
Yeah, because you affected change in your immediate
I would go on
slice of the world.
Facebook and like promote like, hey guys, I just gave $5 to an alcoholic outside of my 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And you know what he did? He got a Four Loko and
he got a buzz, and he affected change in his immediate universe. And if you're a young man and you're disillusioned by the world and politics and all that, just remember that you can affect change in your immediate quadrant of the universe. Like
you can buy Four Locos for the local drunks.
Yeah.
And they will be stoked.
They'll be stoked.
They'll be so stoked. They'll call you king.
Based.
Will they?
King.
Well, yeah. If you be like, call me king, and I'll hand this over to you.
Oh, you're gonna hold a ransom? I was just like, I don't know if they have that slang out of there.
Bend the knee, bitch.
Just offhand.
and they'll be like, King, and I'll be like, there you go. Anyways, dude, this is so base you're doing an actual charity stream.
You're doing more good than most liberals have ever done in their lives, and they'll sit on their pedestal and talk to you about morality.
Liberals just jack off telling other people how good they are inside. They don't fucking actually do anything, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how about volunteering your time and your fucking resources to
They're
something?
like, oh, but I'm going to Jamba Juice, dude. I can't.
Yeah, they just got their
Well, that was-
Jamba Juice in their Starbucks. They got Jamba Juice in one hand and a Starbucks in the other hand.
And like,
Fucking
I can't comprehend donating time.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. Like, with my page, right? I got like just about 20K followers in like half a year, and what I did was post like stolen memes, right? Like 80% of what I do on my page is just spam stolen memes.
I see that a
Based.
lot, which I'm like, that rules.
Yeah,
That rules.
But I feel like to some extent, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, between my YouTube and my page and shit, like, I've technically put in quote unquote a lot of time, but like for a lot of this is like, I was sort of. It feels like I went to the community and the community gave me, like, my page. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just another member
so
of the
you want to
community.
give it back. You want to give it back.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so I feel like I was given something. I was blessed with something here, and I'm just like, okay, well now I want to, I was given this, so I want to go do something good with it. You know
Pay
what I
it
mean?
forward.
Other than, like, make people laugh when they look at their phone. But
So base, dude. I wish that's how I felt, dude. I put so much time in the God Emperor of Dune YouTube page called Heck Yes Gaming. I made so many fucking gay ass little fucking vaporwave videos, and I'm like, oh, this one got 5 views.
I mean, that rules too, dude. It's just
No, I
we're
thought
on
that was
different
sick.
levels.
We had to cut a segment, a great segment, but one no one can hear. Transition to where it left off.
Chronically
Fucking-
thinks that all Chinese food is like, or Asian food is like
I
peanuts.
don't like
he
that's
thinks
Thai
that peanuts
food.
is a main food group of Asia.
No, so no, that's if it's Thai, yes, that's what I find, dude.
Which is not true.
I was looking at
Chinese
a menu.
like peanuts
I
more
was
than
looking,
Thai.
dude. I was looking at a menu for some Chinese food the other day because my wife likes Asian food,
Yep,
unfortunately.
Chinese, like I said.
And then they're like, would you like to make it Thai style? And the difference was crushed peanuts. And I'm like, those motherfuckers.
That's
Those
not real.
motherfuckers, dude. Well, that's apparently
A
that's what
Chinese
Chinese
food place in America that
was
is
like,
not
oh, you-
serving duck or fish, and you thought that
Oh, you
this
want
was an
Thai
accurate
style?
representation of Asia.
Dude, you know what?
We got beef about this, buddy. Like,
I only like if it's not sushi or yakisoba. If it's from Asia, it can. I don't give a fuck, dude. That ain't food, dude. That's just oil and carbs, and just the 1% of just.
guy
a
tries
chunk of
one
the
American
worst
Chinese
meat.
place, and this is what he comes
It's just
back
they have
with.
the
He's like, "Dude,
worst
this is
fucking
all-"
meat I've ever had in my life. The noodles are all right, but it's just oil and carbs, dude.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to a fucking bastard Chinese place.
I've been
That's
to
not
so many
real.
different Asian places.
Sure.
Dude. Only Japanese places are any good.
I don't mean to discredit your experience or like invalidate your experience, but
Listen,
it's
your
fucking wrong, dude.
Your feelings are invalid.
Yeah, Fuck Yeah was like, oh, okay. So once they take out the oil and MSG, then you realize it's just mediocre food.
Yeah, okay, so this guy got a bowl of pho with all the veggies and stuff you're supposed to steep it in. He just ate it by itself, and he was like, this
Nah.
is bland.
No, my Wi-Fi did the
Bro.
whole fucking thing, and I tried some of it. I'm like, wow, this sucks,
Yeah,
dude.
I
I'd
bet
rather
your
have.
fucking wife didn't fucking rip up the
She-
veg and steep the broth in the
She put it-
vegetables and other stuff.
She put it in the fucking broth, dude. She
She
loved
probably
it.
threw a whole basil leaf in there and was like, it's not working.
And she loved it. She was like, oh, this is great. I know why fucking Tim and his lady love
no,
this
but
shit
she
so
still
much.
didn't, though.
I tried it, and I'm like, wow, this is gay, dude. I
Wow,
like top ramen
You
more
tried
than this.
bland soup and you didn't like it? That's insane to me, bro, because that seems like your fucking MO.
What do you think was bland about it, dude? You didn't even try it.
You didn't. I know
You guys
what you
love
did.
that shit.
I know what you did. You went to Fuck Yeah, and you just
I didn't
ate
go
the
anywhere.
soup
I
as they
sent
gave it
my
to
wife.
you, right?
We got some takeout, dude. We brought. Well, I didn't go anywhere. I sent my wife because I wasn't interested. I'm like, I don't even want this bullshit, dude.
She's all
So
pouting.
I'm like, yeah, actually. I was like, she really wanted it, and I was like, not trying to let her down. So I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll try the dumplings. So she goes and picks up the soup and my dumplings, my fucking cope dumplings, comes back, and the dumplings were all right, but I'm like, dude, Asians don't know how to fucking cook meat. This is gay. I
Dude,
try her
It's
soup.
because the meat they give you the meat slightly raw because the broth is hot enough to fucking cook it while you're steeping. The
Oh, is
fucking
that the
veggies in it.
dumplings too? You're supposed to put the dumplings in the soup?
What was wrong with the dumpling? You got dumplings,
Yeah,
which
I
are
got
not
pork
fried
dumplings.
in any way, like I know you like.
No, I got deep fried dumplings actually, and they were
So like gyoza,
fucking mid. They're right.
dude. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not all colors and rainbows and salt.
Dude, just
and
Asian
grease.
food fucking sucks.
Pho
Dick,
is some of the
dude.
most
I can
clean
cook
fucking
way
food
better
you
than
can
that
get.
shit, dude. Oh yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's because it was too clean for you. The pho.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'd rather have a ribeye.
Hey, lit bro.
Dude, I ain't
what do
gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, dude. When you go and you get that cheap MSG shit, I ain't gonna lie, dude. It does. For me, it tastes good.
MSG does rule, and if he
What?
tries to say that it doesn't, he's lying because MSG
I'm
not-
literally tricks your brain into believing that the food
I'm not
you're
lying,
eating is
dude.
good.
It makes me feel. I think it's like immediate. It's like an immediate like taste bud rewards. But then like 30 seconds later, my stomach's like, no. What are
yeah,
you
dude.
doing,
We're talking
dude?
about Chinese food. Pho,
Dude, I have an iron
Be-
gut. I can eat anything and be fine with it, dude.
I can't. I'm not talking. I'm not. I didn't
You
mean
drink
like
Four
I'm gonna
Loko.
shit myself.
You drink Four
Yeah.
Loko, you piece of shit.
Four Loko better than Thai food.
Oh, you're so gay, dude. You're just letting
Fuck
everyone
you.
know now how uncultured you are, which is fine. You don't have to be cultured or whatever.
Uncultured, dude. Okay.
I
I'm
just
so
mean how
cultured,
shitty your
dude.
taste buds are.
Fucking go suck a little Asian micro penis, dude. Asian
will.
food's gay as
It'll be
hell.
easy.
Yeah, I bet it.
I like Asian food.
Yeah, Asian food is, in my opinion, I mean, Asian food is a pretty broad umbrella, you know.
I like
so
sushi.
To me, that's the best kind of food. Like if you want to cast it like a continental net, Asian, bang for buck. I'm talking all Asian foods. You know, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese is probably the best, with Mexican food as a close second.
I like American, dude. You can't
American
beat.
rules.
You can't beat a fucking steak and potatoes, dude.
Dude, you think you're right, but like I love all that shit.
I don't mean it like you hate steak.
No, I love it all.
I didn't mean it
so,
like that.
So you know what?
I
So
just
you know
felt
what?
like-
I win because I like it all.
Yeah. I wish I could just open a garbage can and be like, that's all good food, like you.
I
That
wish
would
I
be
could
so
open my
nice.
laptop and fucking
That'd be
open your
so
mouth
nice,
and
dude.
dump fucking pho into it.
All right, we gotta wrap this up, dude. We're getting hostile. This ain't good for anybody, dude.
Hey, lit bro.
Yo,
Awesome fucking guest, dude. It was just totally natural and sick talking to you, dude.
Hell
We're gonna
yeah,
close this
dude.
out. Stick around. We'll chat it up in the green room for just a minute after this, and but yeah, we're gonna fucking close it out with this. You got a closing. You got a little anecdote to close us out on or something? Like
Oh,
about
yeah,
how
yeah, hang on,
Shitty
hang
your
on.
taste buds are.
Talk your
Uh,
shit,
wait.
king. Let your nuts hang.
His nuts are out, by the way.